Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're going to talk about the this week in wrestling with the AEW Dynamite. At least I don't know if either one of us paid attention to Rampage. We're going to go over Raw and SmackDown, and then we got a couple stories to talk about. William Regal might be jumping ship back to WWE, and what else do we have? Ronda Rousey. What? She's going to get fired? Come on. Yeah, and much more. If you happen to like what you hear, consider hitting that subscribe button. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it.
There you go. How's it going?
It's going good. Going good. Got my fruit punch, and it's delicious.
I went with something different today. I have the twisted tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have the punch, so I
Who's
had to go tea.
who does twisted tea?
I don't
Okay. Well, that killed it.
know. It's good.
Yeah. Does it taste like
Tastes
tea?
like tea with a
Yeah.
little bit of lemon and a little bit of
Okay.
alcohol.
Right on.
How is everybody in the chat? I see we got 3 people already in the building.
Oh wow,
How are you guys doing?
that was quick.
Sound off in the chat when you can.
So you want to just get into it?
What was quick?
What was quick?
You said that was quick. What was quick?
The chat. We got 3 people.
Oh, well, there you
That's quick for us.
go. Usually, usually we don't have 3 people total. Just kidding. That's a joke, chat. We're used to like hundreds of people, so there's gonna be more people following in. Just get down, grab a drink. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Well, we're used to seeing hundreds of people in other people's chats.
No, Arch, come on. You throwing us into the bus?
Well, I don't want to set up false expectations. Eventually, they're going to realize that there's only 3 motherfuckers there, right?
They're gonna look at each other.
Wait a minute. You said there'd be girls, man.
Oh, they'll come. We have there's that one. No, 6%. So there's more than one. Anyway, we can start off. Let's start off the night. We're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Um, I will say that this show was better, or at least it felt better. Um, I noticed my enjoyment of the show really revolves around the crowd. So we actually had a crowd this time. They weren't sitting there with their blankets and their hot cocoa.
Okay.
So I already had more enjoyment. Did you enjoy the show?
Overall, no. Hold on, let me get to my. I got some notes.
What I'm saying is, for Raw, we gotta judge it based off of Raw.
No, I didn't. I thought there was a lot of bullshit. Um, the wrestling was awful. Most of the promos were awful. I think you at least had one set of champions buried. Um, yeah,
That's nothing new.
no, but I'm tired of seeing it. You had maybe a resolution to a storyline that nobody asked for.
You talking about the Miz?
Yeah, but is it a resolution? Because the I don't know.
Well, I guess we can get into that. It's a resolution for his part.
And I gotta tell you, I'm not excited about this potential Kevin Owens Roman Reigns feud.
Why?
I don't know, man. It just seems like been there, done that. It kind of seems like the video game. Like when you're playing the franchise mode and eventually you beat everybody and then it's just the same storyline over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's where we're going. I mean, we got 1,000 more days left, or well, not left, but we got to get to that 1,000. We got, I don't know, I think we're down to like 200 plus days. So it's going to take us through WrestleMania, right after WrestleMania.
What's so important about 1,000 days?
I don't know. It's just like a good number. The 1,000 day reign of Roman Reigns. This is a long time.
Okay.
Um, there's there's a small full of hand. Whoa, a small handful of people who have made a title reign that long. Like, uh, like MJF said during Dynamite, Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino, you know, the likes of that. Bob Backlund apparently.
Yeah. It's funny you said that because I wonder, like, if the crowd even knew who those people were. It was Indianapolis.
They knew who Hulk Hogan was.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like San Martino, he started getting, he started going out there. Like, come on now. Hulk
Well, I
Hogan
think.
was,
Well, I was just gonna say, I think like the only thing you anybody really knows about San Martino is he was a champion for a long time. Like that's all. That's all you really have to know about him. Like I don't know. I've never seen one San Martino match, but that's
oh,
what I do know about him is he was champion for like ever.
he was great. I watched his match with superstar Billy Graham. He
Yeah,
also had a match with Buddy Rogers as well.
is that in, like black and white?
Yeah.
Ugh, I need full HD, 4K. That's what I need. I'm gonna
Or
be
I might
watching
be thinking
something.
of the Blue Thez Buddy Rogers. But either way, I mean, San Martino was great.
Sounds like they're on radio. The commentator.
Oh
They got
yeah,
that radio voice.
I'm subscribed to a Chicago wrestling YouTube channel, and um, this one guy gets the other guy in a headlock, and he goes, "Ah, Mr. Smith, you'll get cauliflower in your ears."
Golly.
No good, Mister. It's worth it.
Well, on that note, let's talk about the show.
All right.
So we start the night with the Bloodline. The Bloodline is in Yo City, as they say.
Yeah, and really the
Um,
only thing I got from this is Jay's still selling his hand. I guess he later says it's broken. I just think that's great because Butch um, really went to town on his hand, like all throughout the War Games match, and then I guess it was injured before that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was
They
injured
wrestled
before that.
the night before, either that or Monday.
Yeah, apparently he broke it a few weeks ago at a house show. While they're doing house shows, I don't know. Like, I guess you're trying to sell tickets, but do you really need the people in the most important storyline in the company wrestling house shows? That's also
Right.
how Kevin Owens got hurt right before War Games. He was able to make it back, but he was gonna miss War Games because he's wrestling at a house show in front of ho dunk hillbillies.
Well, it looks like that's how they kind of rehearse everything.
Yeah, it's kind of how they practice their TV feuds or practice their shit. But
Yeah.
they have a performance center; they can do it in there.
It's the
Maybe.
same. Well, you okay? Would you risk potential injury in the confines of the performance center where nobody's there to see it, or would you risk potential injury to where there are tickets to be sold?
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. But I don't know. I don't think I don't think some people need to be wrestling house shows, especially depending on how much they're needed on TV. Like if you're in a important storyline, you shouldn't really be. You should take no chances to get yourself hurt outside of what's happening in the storyline. If you get hurt like on a TV match or on a pay per view, that's a different story. But in a house show where no one sees it but the people there, shouldn't be taking those kind of chances.
Well, sometimes shit happens.
That's like that's equivalent. That's equivalent to Patrick Mahomes getting hurt playing in a pickup flag football game at the YMCA.
How?
Like it's for nothing, really. Like your big thing is to get on TV, or
Hmm.
Brett Favre used to play in his Wranglers in his backyard. What if he got hurt doing that?
But okay, but if you're Sami Zayn and the Usos, not so much Roman Reigns because he doesn't want to. He got to the top finally, and then he's like, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it easy now. But at least Sami Zayn and the Usos, um, they're at Raw and SmackDown every week. So the only time that they actually get to rehearse their promos and their actual in-ring stuff would be through a house show. And yeah, they are in the main event, but in order to be in the main event, they got to be at the top or at the top of their game at least. And the only way they can be at the top of their game is if they don't get rusty.
Well, during the pandemic there was no house shows. They were getting along fine just then.
Really?
I'm not saying you need to. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm not saying you need to do away with house shows. I'm just saying,
Well, that's
I guess.
and if you'll notice they were doing those fucking cinematic matches. So that's what house shows get you. And Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss.
That was a great match. 5-star classic right there.
Sure.
Too bad
My
I wasn't. We weren't giving out ratings then, or I'd have to get that one 5 stars.
my favorite part is when Randy Orton charged at her like a wild man, and then she at the last second just flipped out of the ring, and then he ran headfirst into the pole. That was great. I stood up and applauded. That was great storytelling.
That's your takeaway. What about when she's throwing fireballs and dropping light fixtures on his head? You're trying to.
Well, when you already like when you already spit in my face, pissing on me is not gonna you know you already did the damage.
And see the ridiculous of that match because in WWE now they do the. And I don't know if you picked it up already. Just getting back, but they do the men don't hit the women thing.
Yeah.
So you're doing
Oh,
a
but
match, and at
I
no
got.
point,
We'll get there. We'll eventually get to Raw, folks.
yeah. Oh, I'm saying you're doing the match, and at no point is there going to be Randy Orton's going to get any offense. So because they're soft now. So you knew they were going to have to do some shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just know that was probably the worst moment. That's right up there with Katie Vick for me.
That match.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, there you go. And we're saying all this to circle it back. We're saying all this because of the house show thing. So Jay, he got hurt at a house show. That's why his hand is broken. So yeah, he was selling that injury, or he's still going through that injury on Raw. Um,
Wait to pay attention to because I forgot we even started the Raw.
and that's pretty much what they were. Um, that whole segment, they didn't really, there wasn't really anything to it. It was just about the bloodline is, there's no cracks in the bloodline. They're 100% now. Um, they did a group hug. They tried to get Solo to join in on the hug,
Which
and
was
right
the
before he did,
yeah, that was the best part. They're like, ah,
yeah, and right before he did, Kevin Owens interrupted. Um, he told Sami Zayn he knows why he did what he did. He's not mad at him, but he just doesn't want anything to do with Sami Zayn anymore. He doesn't want to be on the same show. He doesn't want to tag with him. He just doesn't want anything to do with Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn says, "You know what? I feel the same thing."
right.
So
Well,
they officially broke up.
I did notice that Graves said that they got a ravenous ovation, but I honestly couldn't hear the crowd at all when they came out. It was like golf claps.
Uh, they got a pop, of course, and they got the Usi chants and
The Uzi
um,
chant sounded really fake to me.
yeah, it did sound like they wanted to do it, but they didn't want to do it. I
Well,
don't
it
know.
sounded like it was
It's just
piped into me. Like I don't know. I like I'm not an expert or anything. I don't want to
um,
make it sound like I know from experience that it's piped in, but it just I don't know. It just didn't sound authentic.
I don't think they're piping in noise for that. They're definitely piping in noise for some things. Like uh, if you skip forward a little bit to Austin Theory and the Seth Rollins, their little standoff, they piped in noise because there were so many boos. But if you looked at the crowd, no one was like moving. No one was doing anything. But there was like so loud of boos. I was like, huh, they piped that in.
Huh. And
I
that's
just
kind of how
happened
I
to
felt
catch
with the
that.
Usi chant. I didn't feel like anybody was moving around with it. Anyway, it was Indianapolis.
Well, there you go. Maybe they piped in the oos. But yeah, that was the end of that segment. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they've officially broken up.
Oh.
It's just going to lead to them getting back together, of course, to do their. I don't know. So if you listen to the community, everybody's saying that this is just going to lead to Owens and Zayn taking on the Usos for the championship tag titles and probably take it from the Usos at WrestleMania. Um, we'll see how that plays out. I'm still on the camp, and now more and more people are getting on this camp, which is a good thing to see. Still on the camp of you make Sami Zayn the champion, he takes down Roman.
Do you seriously want
Even
him
for
to take
well,
down
you could
Roman?
even do it. I think look, you need to get at least one of the titles because you need to get one title back to Raw, right? Let me play this out for you. You need to get you need to get one title back to Raw. You can do Sami Zayn. He beats Roman. However he beats it, he beat it like a luck, someone interfering, however you want to do it. You know, it doesn't have to be clean. He beats Roman Reigns. He's the champion for one of the belts. The very next night on Raw, someone goats him into defending the title. He can get beat, a la Kane losing it to Stone Cold the next night. And there you go. Now you got your title back on Raw. You get Sami Zayn moment at WrestleMania, or well, it wouldn't be WrestleMania, but you get Sami Zayn his moment. We get a payoff for this whole thing, because I think if this payoff is for tag team titles, I think that's kind of a waste, because the tag team titles are not like I don't know. This whole you don't do this whole story for tag team titles. You just don't.
Well, if on that line of thinking, if you paid attention to NXT, Triple H, it seemed like he put more emphasis on the tag team division. Like remember the Ascension, and then he had what was it Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze? They were pretty good. At some point, Neville and Sami Zayn they were tag partners. So I
Yeah.
mean, if you actually have a tag division that's serious, and if this would be the I don't know the jump start to that. I could see that.
Well, maybe I'm in the minority there. I see that if it turns out that way, I see it as a waste. You did all this for tag team titles
I see what you're
on a
saying.
pay on two that's not even a team.
But if
It's not even
you're thinking at you're thinking of it as the tag championships as they are now. But if Triple H is serious about rebuilding and actually having a good tag division, and Owens and Zayn are the start of that, and it actually becomes serious, I don't think that's a waste at all. I think it's a waste
yeah.
if Roman has this big old reign as champion and Sammy's the one to beat him.
I mean,
Have
I
you seen Sammy standing next to Roman?
that's what I'm saying. You do an underdog fluke win. You don't have to do like, oh, he went toe to toe with Roman and beat him straight up. Like, of course you're not going to do that. But if you get a fluke win, someone interferes, Kevin Owens stuns Roman, Sami Zayn gets the pin off of that. You could do that. I
I
mean, it's like the
also
first time. Go ahead.
also you brought up the Kane dropping the title the next night on Raw after the pay per view, right?
Right.
The fatal flaw in that is he lost it to Austin in the first place. Austin got his rematch. Wasn't it a triple threat match between him and the Undertaker and Kane won?
I don't remember. You got me there. I don't remember. I
Okay.
just remember the next night he won the title. The next night he lost it.
Yeah, Austin lost the title. That was Austin's rematch.
Right. But he gave him his rematch the next night, and yeah, they
So
hot shot the title right back to Austin.
so
But you
for
get now
so
Kane had his moment on pay-per-view.
so for Roman Reigns to hold whatever title for 1,000 days or whatever, and then lose it to Sami Zayn, who's been nothing but a sidekick, even though he's done most of the wrestling between all of them.
He's held the bloodline. Listen at the crowd. He's the most over one. Well, arguably, you know, we talked about the war games, and it's like Sami Zayn went heel, but he was already heel, but he gets babyface reactions. So is he babyface or heel? So you know,
Well,
so he's getting
Rollins is a heel that gets babyface for his reactions.
no, he's actually a face.
No, he's actually a heel.
No, here we go again.
Yeah,
You can't get over it. He is a face.
he is a heel.
Who's he feuding with right now?
He's feuding with Theory,
And Theory is a
who he calls a kid and disrespects and laughs in his face
that's because he's trying to
and
get under his
told him
skin as a babyface.
the baby faces don't do that.
What, he's gonna be straight and narrow now?
That's what faces are.
No,
Yes,
maybe they are, but this is a new face.
this ain't a new face. He's a heel that gets face reactions.
Mm,
Remember when he
age
was
old
talking
question.
about? Remember when he was uh, calling Riddle a bitch and laughing at his divorced family and shit.
Yeah,
The,
that was a heel.
and the crowd was still singing to his stupid song.
Well, he was a heel then, though.
So he's a
Now
heel
he's a
now.
face.
What? How is he a face?
He just is.
What do you
The
mean he
crowd,
just is?
the
The
crowd
crowd
sings
is doing
along
the
with
same
him.
shit
He,
that they were doing when he was a heel.
yes, but
No,
he's
there's no
like,
but. There's no
he's not
goddamn
cheating
but.
now. He's not cheating now. He was doing his open challenge. He wasn't backing down from fights, except for that one time when the Judgment Day and the OC came out, and then he ran from that, and then he showed back up later that night to defend his title.
So he defended his title against Riddle after his little steel cage match. He
I'm
tried to
telling
laugh.
you, he's
He laughed off Mustafa, and then Mustafa had to like jump him to get a title match. Mustafa
he was
called him
heel
out.
then when he did that.
What do you mean he's heel?
He was a heel when he did that. I'm saying he's a face now. He was a heel when that happened.
Well, okay. What did he do to turn face?
He just he won the U.S.
What
title.
he won the? Oh my god, motherfucker! How did he
Because
win the
Rollins
U.S.
is a
title?
face.
How is he a face?
No, okay. He was a heel when he won the U.S. title, but the next week he was a face.
No, he wasn't because no, he wasn't because he defended against Riddle, the guy he just feuded with the little bare knuckle Daniel Cormier match. What the fuck? Fight in the cage.
Fight pit.
Yeah, they just had their fight pit match. Then Rollins the next Monday attacks Lashley because Lesnar whoops his ass. He
That
steals
was that was the
hold
heel.
on. He steals Lashley's belt. Then the next week, Bro comes out to continue their feud, even though that they just wrestled, and that was their blow off. He was a heel then.
Correct.
So then he wrestles Mustafa at some point. I think didn't he wrestle? He wrestled Theory too.
When he wrestled Theory, he was a face.
How was he a face?
And when he wrestled Lashley, when he was the champion and wrestled Lashley, you noticed Lashley was just that's the little time he was just beating the hell out of people. So he was a heel, you could
No,
say.
Lashley is 100% a heel. You're absolutely right. But
Okay,
Rollins
so
is a
he's
heel as
feuding with
well. It
a
looks like it.
heel Theory, and a
I'm
heel
not the one that's
Lashley.
booking the shit.
He's a face.
He is not a face.
And we haven't even got to. Why are we on this already? We haven't even got to Rollins yet.
Fine.
He comes later.
We'll continue this argument later.
So we move on to the next segment. We got Becky Lynch.
Oh
She
God.
comes out. The man Becky Lynch comes around. Um, I don't like the man gimmick, by the way. It's just weird.
I don't like the Becky Lynch gimmick.
Well, she didn't really do much yet. So she comes out. She she tells Indianapolis the man's come around.
Yeah, she.
She does this thing where she talks to the crowd. She almost gets graped.
Did you see that? Okay. Let's. I was hoping. I'm glad you brought this up. Let's break it down. Okay. So Becky Lynch, she goes into the crowd because she wants to be with her people. She sees the fattest fuck that looks like he smells like fast food wearing a Becky
I
Lynch
know
shirt.
his stomach's all hanging out at the bottom.
Yeah. So she goes over and she raps with him and, Bob, blah, 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 blah. So they fuck around with Bob. Then she turns around and then there's Zachary. Zachary. Zachary.
Zachary's drunk as fuck.
Yeah, he was drunk. Zachary immediately puts his arm around Becky Lynch, who Becky Lynch immediately does some fucking little judo arm thing and then steps back.
Yeah. And then you got Zachary, the ultimate geek, talking. When he was like, when Bailey comes out, um, he's over there, kick her butt, Bailey.
Yeah.
Like you drunk rapist.
And then the next
Like
time,
what if she didn't back up? What was he gonna do? She was done. Like he thought he was getting some. Like,
Seth,
what are you doing, man?
Seth Rollins would have been a widower.
Yeah, he would have had to run out there. Like, and yeah, that segment it got really awkward at that moment when dude's trying to put his arms around her.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody
Um,
said anything.
she handled it great,
I
but
mean, she handled
like
it the only way you could.
well, she, she didn't make a big deal of it. Like,
No, not
what
at
are you
all.
doing? Um, she just
Did she make a
dodged
whoa
him and
though? It sounded like she whoa.
I don't remember, but she dodged him and then backed up and
Hmm.
stayed far away, and then she went back to Bob because she's like, Bob's, I'm gonna go back over. You know how to behave.
She did go back over and he put his hands in his pockets. So
Yeah, and so yeah, he looked like a rapist, and now he got shot down on live TV. So there's that too.
well, what did he expect?
And he was drunk.
If I put my arm around her, she'll do me.
Well, I mean, maybe he was just trying to. Maybe he's one of those like arm around Tucker people.
Okay. Well,
You know how there's the people who put their arm around you when they talk?
yeah, but do they do that to strangers? I don't know.
No. I don't,
Well,
well,
there you
maybe they
go.
do. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. You just got those people like they just. I don't know. They want you close when they're talking.
I don't know. This is weird. Well,
But
as far as the Becky Lynch's promo, like to me, she clearly didn't practice while she was off because she's still terrible. Um, Bailey came out eventually, right?
yeah, damage
Uh,
control comes out.
oh, a whole damage control, and then like at some point she goes, "Here she comes to ruin the day." So yeah, Bailey comes out. They shit talk with Bob, and then damage control comes out behind Becky Lynch, and then Becky Lynch runs, and at one point she's throwing signs at them. Like I don't know what the fuck. Like this whole thing was goofy.
So I did like the fact that it was something different. I will say that. Like they tried something different. Um, damage control comes out. They brawl with Becky Lynch. So you got damage control brawling with Becky Lynch in the crowd. They go up and then they go into the concession stands. Um, one at one point Bailey hits Becky Lynch with the lunchbox, Money in the Bank lunchbox.
Did you see
So
Becky Lynch hitting Bailey with the stuffed animals?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm saying I praise them for trying something
No,
different.
no, no, no. I will
It
not
was
let.
sports entertainment.
No,
You don't
no.
know there could have been
Fuck that
rocks in there.
shit. No, there's no rocks in the WWE is not selling rock-filled stuffed teddy bears to the public.
I'm saying that one could have been.
No, that one wasn't.
She could have
She
pre-planned this
may
attack.
no. She starts off by making her escape by throwing signs at these grown women, pieces of paper. That's what she's fighting with. This big badass. And then they get
Oh,
into the brawl part of it, and she's using stuffed animals. And what's worse is Bailey's fucking selling it.
Well, she's a professional.
No, she's
Now,
no, she's not. She's not.
that's
She
what, at least that's what I liked about the segment is that they tried
she
something
got hit with
different.
stuff. That's not different. That's
No,
fucking phony and hokey and just the antithesis of what the profession that they chose to be in is.
well,
Fu-
I'm just saying they tried. All I'm saying is they tried something different. It wasn't just someone come out, cut a promo, someone else come out, interrupt the promo, and then that leads to our first match of the night.
No, it just led
So
to a
it
brawl.
was,
It led to a match of a different sort because that match would have probably ended in a disqualification because there's factions involved. So they just jumped right to the disqualification part of it. And they hit each other with stuffed animals and sold it. They
okay. Well,
sold
that's
stuffed
your
animals.
takeaway.
No, no, no. They sold stuffed animals. That means that a stuffed animal to them is painful. So that means that should they get
Maybe
hit
it's
with
filled with nickels
should
too.
should they get hit with a steel chair or something, that has to be like getting shot with a shotgun, right? If a stuffed animal can do it for you.
Well, maybe you ever got hit with a stuffed animal and they got the little fuzz in your eye?
If I'm get
That ain't comfortable.
if I'm in a situation where they're using fists,
Well, my wrong with this whole segment, you have your wrong, the stuffed animals. My wrong was the fact that you got the tag team champions and Bailey, Hall of Famer, versus one person, and the one person was holding her own against these people.
that's another
She
thing.
was fighting off. She was fighting off the tag team champions and Bailey. No one ever came out to help Becky Lynch.
Nope.
Like she did this all on herself, by
There's a
herself.
crowd of people just watching.
Well, I'm saying you didn't have any other wrestlers come out and help.
I know. That's what I
Oh,
was you ruined it.
yeah,
But yeah,
you didn't have a crowd of people.
you have
You
you have
had
this you have this one tiny woman who's been gone for months, and they had to be separated from Bailey and the tag team champions. And I get that Bailey has no credibility, but now like why even have damage control at this point? Just put him back in NXT.
I don't know what they're doing with damage control. They're definitely
They're shitting on him and pissing in their mouths.
the group. I don't know. They're probably done at this point. They've lost too many times. They they're not credible. Like I don't know. Group failure.
Yeah, I don't believe that they would. Anytime they come out, like I can't believe that they're gonna win a match.
Yeah, and even if they got the tag team championships, the women's tag championships, you just know that the next time they defend it, it's probably going to be a loss. Well, I take that back because the WWE thing is have your tag team champions lose until the title match and then they win, and then that's supposed to save them because they won the title match, but they lose everything else. One-on-one matches, non-title matches. They lose all that, but they defend the titles and they win that, so that saves everything.
Yeah, I'm
When
not.
in fact your champion shouldn't be losing. I don't know, rarely. When's the last time Roman Reigns has gotten pinned? It's been, I think he hasn't been pinned in 900 days.
Because they know how to
Like,
build it.
like treat treat all your champions like that. Now, I'm not saying never have any champions lose because then that gets kind of predictable. Oh, champion's in a match, he's not losing. But it should be a special thing to see the champions lose. I'll take it even further. Like, think of Hulk Hogan. How many times on TV? I just thinking of it, I can't even think of a time that I saw him lose on TV.
He lost to Lex Luger. I think he lost to Sting. I know he lost to Goldberg.
On
Cause
TV?
yeah, because I think there was something. with the pay-per-view that it went too long, so they had to air it on TV.
Oh, well,
So I
see,
mean,
that's
that
rare.
okay, that's a technicality, but I know for a fact Lex Luger. I'm pretty sure DDP.
Well, still, that's just a handful of times, so it's a rare. It was rare that you would see Hogan pinned on television.
Well, I don't know about DDP now that I'm saying, but yeah, you're right. It was rare,
And he wasn't even a champion all the time. He was just, he was just
just most of the
Hulk
time.
Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan doesn't lose matches. oh, oh, I got a match, brother. Who am I going over?
Well, Hulk, we were thinking about you maybe losing just this one time.
oh, no can do, brother.
No can do's, Phil, baby doll, brother.
Yeah, let me tell you something, dude.
Mm.
The Hulkamaniacs, they can't see me losing to these jabronis, brother.
Oh wow.
For a moment there, I was gonna do like a whole. It was gonna turn into like you interviewing me playing the role of Hulk Hogan, and you keep asking me questions, and I'm just like full on Hulk Hogan,
Well,
and then I'm like, "What you gonna do?" At the end.
um,
But yeah, that was
yeah,
my down of that whole Bailey or Damage Control Becky Lynch thing. She's taken on three people, two of which are champions
right.
and a Hall of Famer. Like she shouldn't have been able to defend herself that long.
Which one of the champions? The only champ. No, wait, no. Bianca is a champion. Okay, so two of the three champions. Anyway, the Dakota Kai got pinned in the War Games match. Like out of anybody in the damage control side, they're the ones that shouldn't have been pinned.
Yeah, I mean Nikki Cross was in the match,
Right.
and
If anybody
and
deserves
you're
a goddamn
defending a
leg
tag
drop,
champion.
right?
Well, I'm just saying, you want someone to take the pinfall, you got Nikki Cross in the match, but
Exactly.
you're gonna pin the tag champion instead.
So yeah, they have zero credibility. I don't know why they're even given TV time, unless they're just going to be punching bags for whoever. Like, do you honestly believe that Bailey's going to successfully feud with Becky Lynch?
Not now.
For some reason, she's like little Hulk Hogan.
And that's what we're setting up next. So yeah, Bailey is going into a. Looks like we're setting up Bailey versus Becky Lynch. We we all know who's gonna win that feud.
Right.
They're probably gonna do that match at Royal Rumble. So
Probably.
take a guess who's gonna win, and it's not Bailey.
Right.
Um, Next up, we have Rhea Ripley versus Mia Yim. Well, really, we have I call it a Vince McMahon special because one of the big things that used to happen on Raw was you would have a match. That match would lead to a disqualification because people interfered. You go to commercial, you come back, and now it's a either tag team or a six-man tag. All the people who ran out to that brawl that caused the disqualification are now in a match together.
Which,
And
if you
that's what
think
we had here.
if you think about it, though, that makes sense. Like, oh, you want to come out here so bad? Why don't you get in the ring?
It does make sense, but they used it so many times.
I
Like
get that.
it literally happened every week.
Yeah, I get that.
for like 5 years. Every week for 5 years, you could just pinpoint. Oh, as soon as you saw someone come out, oh, here we go, about to get a tag team match or 6-man tag. So, yeah, I call that the Vince special, and that's what we got here. So we started out with Rhea Ripley versus um, Mia Yim. They they
Reckoning Meachum Mia Yim because she's so
yeah they do
awesome.
this
She's she's crazy. She's
they do this
crazy.
match for I don't know 2-3 minutes, and then out comes Judgment Day, and then out comes the OC. There was no commercials during this time because the first hour was commercial free, but out comes these men, and then we have a what was it, a 6-man or was it 8 man?
It was six. Yeah, it was 6 men.
6 men and the 2 women. So
Yeah, yeah,
or
six. Yeah, yeah, 6 men and the two. God damn, it's so stupid.
we basically had the match that should have been at War Games.
I
The
guess.
six men for and the 2 women. Um, it happened on Raw. I don't know who won this match because I lost track. And there were so many, there's so much happening in the match. I lost track of who won it.
Um,
At one
Rhea,
point, mhm,
Rhea Ripley won.
okay, as she should have. Um, at one point, Mia Yim body slams Finn Balor. The crowd went crazy on this. I was thinking, Finn Balor's what, 150 pounds, maybe? Of course she could body slam him. This wasn't Rhea Ripley body slamming Luke Gallows. Like the crowd popped like this was such a big deal. But like, I don't know. Maybe she could have done Damian Priest, and then that would have been more impressive. But Finn Balor's like 150 pounds.
Mia Yim was smaller than Finn Balor. She's like what, 90 pounds?
No, she's pretty put together.
She's
I
smaller
don't know.
than
I'm not gonna.
she's smaller than Finn Balor. I know that. She was looking up at Finn
Yeah, she's
Balor.
smaller.
So
Yeah, she's
she
smaller than Finn Balor, but
she body slams a man that's bigger than her.
he weighs. It's like the lightest man you can body slam.
Have you ever been body slammed against your will?
I can't say that I have against your will. What is it within your will? If you're getting body slammed, I'm gonna say it's against your will at all times.
I'm just saying, like,
Like if someone's picking you up, if you're in a fight and someone's picking you up, it's probably against your will.
yeah, exactly. So there's no way that there's no way that that would, it's fake. And then she goes to DDT Dominique. Like, I don't want to see Judgment Day anymore. I don't want to see them.
Oh yeah, and that is what led to the victory.
And they need
She
to
goes to she gets kicked and then Riptide
and they need to
one
stop
two
it with
three.
this fucking stupid mediocre women wrestling bullshit and making it seem like that they can hang with the men. They can't. It's not even close. And then you have these matches where the women are beating the shit out of the dudes, but you don't see one body slam from the heels. Like they don't even trip Mia Yim.
That's what I said. I don't know if you had picked up on it yet, but the men can't get physical with the women, but the women can get physical with the men. It's just a WWE thing, so
That's bullshit.
or it's a I don't know
I,
generation thing now. They don't want to get canceled for having a man beat a woman. So
well, that's great. So now you have a man getting beat by you have this tiny little Asian girl beating up 2 men in one of your biggest heel factions. I don't want to see them anymore. Finn Balor's done. his career ended last Monday, as far as I'm
Mm,
concerned.
okay. Um,
And Mia, first of all, Mia Yim sucks. Did you see her her slow running to the corner and her awkward moves and like everything was just very slow and just stiff and just unentertaining. She's uninteresting. She's not fun to look at. So if you're gonna do something like that, at least if you're gonna kill two of your male wrestlers, do it with somebody that's fucking worth it. Not fucking Meechum Mia. You can't even fucking get her goddamn name straight.
well, she's crazy. So
Crazy.
there's
She
that.
did a body slam. Oh, she's so crazy. She she did a basic wrestling move. It's
Off a
crazy.
dude, though. She beat up a dude that couldn't hit her back. Not that I'm. Okay. We already went over. We already went over the bloodline thing. I skipped ahead on that. I don't know why, but there we go. That's what the bloodline did. If you want to hear what that was, you can watch the beginning of the show. Um, so we can skip to the Austin Theory segment.
Um, I was
Um,
I was rehabbing my dislocated shoulder from throwing the remote after the crazy tiny girl body slamming the dudes. Um, Austin Theory needs to get a new theme song. That A Town Down shit just needs to go away.
well, we talked about that.
Yeah,
I said, I said they need to get rid of whoever makes the themes right now
right,
and
right, right.
get CFO money back or get one of the another suggestion that I thought about was Jim Johnston. Get him back.
I seem to remember there being bad blood,
Did
but I
you?
don't know.
Is that a group?
No, bad blood between Jim Johnston and
Oh, oh, yeah, there is, but I don't know. It's a new management now, so
sometimes that doesn't work. It's still the same people.
he's still there. um, so
But
we basically have
the
theory.
who's doing the theme music you can't control. What you can control is what the theme music is, and Austin Theory's theme song at its current state is awful.
What do you
And
mean you can't control who does the theme? Yes, you can. You fire them.
okay, but
Fire.
you make an offer to somebody, you can't guarantee that they'll say yes.
You could have
You can't.
Road Dogg make the themes.
Ugh,
How about that, huh? He
ugh.
he did Jeff Jarrett's theme that one time when he was
Spend
the
my
Road Dogg.
days all night on the go.
Yeah, see, he knows how to make
Yeah,
themes. He's on the roster. Like, get rid of whoever you have.
I don't know.
And he even sung the theme too.
Well, what I'm saying is, CFO might not be an option right now.
Yeah.
Jim John.
Okay, you don't need him or them. You don't need yeah, maybe you don't even have to go back. But I'm saying you need to go forward. And by going forward is getting rid of who you have. You can you can you can get a PlayStation like original PlayStation and get Beatmaker and make the themes there and they'll it turn out better.
Well, I find it weird that you got so fired up over Johnny Gargano's theme song.
Cause it should be Rebel Heart.
It's awful.
You didn't like the old Rebel Heart?
I didn't like any Rebel Heart. No.
Oh, it's just sentimental, I guess. Like so many big moments have ended with that theme music playing, like him winning the title, in one of the better matches, like one of the better takeover matches. Um,
We're talking
has
about the
come
song. We're talking about the song where it sounds like Cyndi Lauper singing, right?
right.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
There's just been so many moments with him in that theme music. It's kind of synonymous with him, I would say.
Oh, it's synonymous with him, all right. Just okay, whatever.
It's a black and gold thing. You just had to be there.
I don't have to be there. I can visualize it.
No, you can't. No, you can't. God
Yeah,
damn it, no, you can't.
we got a grown man coming out to some chick music. I get it.
And they got the riff. Ow!
Moxley does the same thing, and it's just as manly.
You're gonna need to calm down with your toxic masculinity.
I just know that I've never I've never seen a badass come out to Cyndi Lauper.
What about the uh anyway, I've lost it.
Tyson Fury came out to Feelings, I believe, but not
I don't
Cyndi
know what that
Lauper.
I don't know who that is or what that is, so
Feelings of feelings, my feelings. No, you've heard it. Don't act like you haven't.
I haven't heard it.
You've heard it. You hear it every day. Listen to it in the shower.
Anyway, Theory of Austin,
Teary.
he comes out. Yeah, he comes out. He pretty much cuts a little in-ring promo saying
Yep.
that this is the new Austin Theory. This is my time now. No more future. It's now. I'm not a kid anymore. Yada yada yada. What
He's
basically what he's
awesome.
been saying for the last few weeks. Um, we get Seth Rollins come kind of setting up a one-on-one match between Theory and Rollins. I'm actually looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a pretty good match. That'll probably also be at the Royal Rumble.
Theory versus Rollins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
I
on
could
one.
see that being a good match. It depends on the shenanigans, if there are any. Like I'm tired of these non-clean finishes and
Well,
interference and shit.
yeah, I think. I mean, I'm envisioning especially since they got Theory, they're trying to build him up. I don't think. I think it'll be a clean finish, and I think well, Theory's probably gonna win it, but I think it'll be a clean finish either way. I think it'll be a clean match. Um, yeah, I just think it's gonna be a good match. Match of the night. Just go ahead and call it call it right now. Match of the night. Um, now there's a thing about Raw in this segment that I, I can't go without mentioning. This guy, he had to have raided Becky Lynch's side of the closet with his
Oh, you
outfit.
took my joke, you son of
There's
a bitch.
there's no you you cannot tell me he got that in he went in the store and got that in the men's section.
Yeah, he was
Whatever he
definitely
was
wearing
wearing.
Becky's shirt.
He, the whole thing. So he was wearing a black, I don't know,
Lacy.
complete lacy see-through ensemble. Pants and shirt were all see-through. He had shorts on underneath his pants, so you couldn't see his junk, if that's your thing.
Well, you noticed.
Yeah, I noticed because the whole thing was see-through,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, there's no way you can't. You're not gonna tell me he got that out the men's section.
No, he raided Becky's closet. See, I didn't
Yeah.
notice the pants. The shirt was so distracting.
Oh, yeah, I saw it as the whole thing. I was like, why is this whole thing? Why is why is he wearing lingerie? That's what I said. But
Sable?
yeah, it's like one of Sable's old outfits that she would wear.
Yeah, it was very I don't want to say distracting. I don't think that's the right word. But it's like I don't
It's
know.
definitely hard to take him serious with that.
Right.
Like, yeah, I think him in theory are gonna have a great match, but it was just hard to take anything serious with what the hell he was wearing.
And,
Um,
and then he had the audacity to laugh at Theory,
yeah, and he calls Theory a
a
kid.
kid.
And Theory said, "I'm not your kid," and he calls Theory a kid. And the segment ends with Rollins. His back is turned to Theory. Theory walks up the ramp, and yeah, we're gonna have a showdown between those two.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's going to be a good match. Um, Regardless of Rollins' heel heat, he's still a good wrestler. And Theory,
Well,
he's not bad
you
either,
mean Theory?
huh?
Did you mean Theory? Heel heat?
No, Rollins.
Because Rollins is the face.
No, Rollins will be the heel or a heel. I'm not quite sure what Theory is right now.
Theory is definitely a heel,
How is he
which makes
definitely a
Rollins
heel?
the face.
How's he definitely a heel?
What do you mean? He's attacking people?
He's attacking heels. He's a
No.
vigilante.
Who did he wrestle last week?
I don't think he did. Did he wrestle last week?
Yeah, when the new Theory. It was right before the pay-per-view.
Was it Mustafa? Oh,
Yeah.
it was what's his head? Uh yeah, it was Mustafa and then Lashley came out.
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, was it too? Okay.
Or maybe, I don't know. I
Okay, what's
think,
the point?
yeah. The point was, he wrestled the person, he won
uh
the match, and then post-match, he beat the person down again. That's a heel move. He didn't walk up the ramp, he beat the guy down again and gave him another A-Town down.
I feel like maybe. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
I
was
don't
last
think
week.
Theory is definitely not a face, but Rollins ain't a face. He's
Rollins
definitely
is the face.
he is a heel.
I don't know how you define a heel, but it ain't Rollins.
The correct way?
It ain't Rollins.
It's
Man, he's
definitely
such a big baby face.
100. Okay.
Which again, I
Which
don't know what they do
but you can't you
when.
even though you can't demonstrate how he's a face other than the fact that the crowd cheers for him, but we've already established the fact that the crowd is doing the same shit that they did when he was a heel. When you define him as a heel.
Yeah, but now he's a face, so
See,
it's even better for him.
yeah, I don't, I you sir, I don't believe you know what you're talking about.
And yeah, and I don't know. Going back to what we said on, or what I said on the episode that never aired, I don't know what they do with Cody Rhodes when he comes back, because his feud was supposed to be Rollins, but now Rollins is a face, Cody's a face. Are they gonna have to turn Rollins back heel?
Rollins is already a heel, so there's no turn.
No, he's gonna have to turn. He's gonna have to like turn dastardly. One of the biggest heel moves he can do at the time.
Man, you just want to see what you want to see at this point.
He's gonna like, no one's gonna be singing his theme. They're gonna be booing him because he's gonna be full blown heel. But right now, They're singing his theme because he's face.
But they sang his theme when he was a heel.
Because they were turning him face,
They weren't turning
and
him
then he went
face.
face. They were like, "Oh, let's get behind Rollins and make him a face." And then he finally is like, "You know what, guys? You've had my back since day one, and I'm a face now."
They were singing his theme song when he beat the shit out of Bobby Lashley for his title. After Bobby Lashley got thrown through a table.
I know that was part of him
No, it
turning
wasn't part
face.
of nothing.
You know
No,
that beatdown on
no,
Lashley, he probably
no.
saw the light right there. He was like, "You know, this this is not the way anymore. I'm a stand-up guy now."
He came out after the beatdown.
He's like, I want to do the straight and narrow way now.
He came out
No
after
more
the
heel
beatdown and
tactics
taunted
for
him.
me.
He taunted him into a championship match. As the medics are taking him away so he can get to safety and his wounds healed, Seth Rollins questions his manhood and says he doesn't love his country and he was a shit soldier.
I know that's probably what turned him face. He was so
Okay.
remorseful. No, he was so
No,
remorseful
you're full of
for
shit.
doing that.
You're full of shit. You don't believe what you're talking. You don't believe what you're saying right now.
He's like, I can't believe I stooped that low.
I know
I
you.
can't
You're
do this
I
anymore.
I know you. You're not this stupid.
True, but he's a face.
He's not a face.
Um, but
Anyway.
we move on. We're gonna ask in the chat. We're gonna let the chat decide.
Oh, they're gone.
That's no. I'm just saying
Oh,
we're gonna ask our community, our chat, our fans, whatever, and whatever they say, there's no arguing. That's it. We're gonna put a vote out. If they say he's a face, he's a face. If they say he's a heel, he's a heel.
oh, so you're gonna create 5 accounts?
if if they put if we do a if we do a comments, if we get comments and they say more people say face in the comments below, right below the right next to the like button and the subscribe button, then he's a face. If they say he's a heel, then he's a heel in the
Whatever.
comments below.
He's definitely a heel. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, we had finally, hopefully, the end of the Dexter Loomis versus Miz thing. They finally had their match. Dexter Loomis wins the match to get a contract. So hopefully this is over. The match wasn't anything really to write home about. Of course, it's a Miz match. Um, what stuck out to me during this whole thing was post match. You have Dexter Loomis. He gets his money and he gets his contract. He signs his contract. He takes the money, and as he's going up the ramp, he's handing out. It looked like they were real $100 bills, and he was handing them out to just like random kids. Um, he gets to the ramp. The Miz attacks him, and the best part of it for me was after the Miz attacks him.
When he snatched the
He
dollar or the 100 back.
Yeah, he goes and takes the 100 out of one of the kids' hands, and it just reminded me of the old school Ted DiBiase.
Right.
Oh, if you can bounce this ball 10 times, and then he kicks it on the ninth.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes that that almost made this whole like feud build up worth it. Almost.
They tried.
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't know. To me, I don't know if Loomis looks like a killer or a stripper.
um,
And that weird little Terminator thumbs up thing that he does is just weird.
well, that's because he doesn't talk.
I know that's
So
his gimmick, but like, you think he could do something a little less hokey?
a thumbs up.
But he does it all weird. He does it like a fucking GI Joe.
He's an American hero. I do miss heel Loomis when he used to just stalk people. Um, that's I don't know. That's just a side note. He used to stalk the hell out of people, and it was great because he's a stalker. Because he's a creepy stalker. And I'm not just talking about the men. He would stalk women. He stalk everybody.
I just
Um,
don't see where you would go with this character. Like, is he gonna watch Roman Reigns while he's sleeping?
this stuff, he's definitely not like gonna be competing for titles. He's he's just one of those. Uh, I would say filler, just there to fill time, fill the roster out, be like a lower mid card guy. Kind of like he kind of fills the role of like what the and I hated this character in every every way, but the boogeyman. He kind of fills the role of the boogeyman.
He's
He's just
coming to
there.
get you.
Yeah, that was the worst character in history. I'm the boogeyman.
Ooh, no, the James Ellsworth guy was the worst.
Oh, well, I don't know. Just every time, and excuse me, every time the boogeyman was just, you know, gonna wrestle a match or do anything, it was like, oh, here's another boogeyman segment. I couldn't wait for him to not be a thing.
At least his matches were quick.
Yeah, there's that.
The
But he'd
little,
always do like the
yeah, the
jiggle
little,
thing.
yeah, the little slither dance thing he did. It took a long time, but it's kind of like a Roman Reigns entrance.
No, during the match, he'd do his little jiggle thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But he was, I don't know, good riddance.
I don't know. Like if he wrestled 20-minute matches and slither danced the whole time, that'd be one thing. But for the most part, his shit was squash. When he bit the mole off that chick's face, that's kind of when I soured on
I started on him when he was, I don't know, all his
him
matches
when he
were pretty
debuted.
much, yeah, all his matches were squashes. He was impervious to pain the whole time.
Well, he's the
Yeah.
boogeyman. He's coming to get you.
I
How
will
can
say that part was, I did like that whole, I'm the boogeyman.
and I'm coming to get you. And then he did the
But,
little clock smash. This shit was this shit was great. And then
but
there'd be
yeah,
the
well,
smoke, and he'd have his staff, and
and do a
he
shake.
yeah. But then when he started eating the worms and all that stuff, that's kind of when he jumped the shark.
Maybe that's what it was. I just didn't like the whole worm eating thing.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know if they were real or not.
they were.
They looked real.
I
Like,
just
and
yeah, I
he's,
don't.
in real life he's black. Like, what kind of black dude is eating worms? That's a white person thing.
You haven't seen New Jack City.
No, not in a while.
I was saying the crack cocaine.
Um, but we can move on to our main event. The main event was Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. Um, this match, it was what you would expect out of a Jey Uso and Kevin Owens match. It's a pretty good match. The winner was Kevin Owens off of a stunner. Here we go with the champions losing again, but you know the tag champions in a single match. Of course he's gonna lose. So I already knew going in that he was gonna lose, but it was an entertaining match, I would say.
I mean, it was a fine match. I noticed that there was a weak "This is awesome" chant after that Owens top rope suplex thing that he does.
Yeah, they didn't know if they wanted to do it or not.
Yeah. Um, I don't know why the super kick has been diminished the way it has, but it's just really frustrating. Like the sweet chin music used to be one of my favorite finishing moves, and now everybody does it, and everybody does
Now
it
it's just like a front kick.
right. And it's just all it is an exciting move for false finish.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's hard to get invested in matches like this when they just have them every single fucking week. Like they just had War Games and Owens was in it, and now they're wrestling again. So they're going to continue to wrestle until what Royal Rumble, and it's just I don't know, man. I just wish they'd fucking mix it up a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna hope not. That they don't keep this going until Royal Rumble. This is a long time until Royal Rumble. You can't keep like I don't just want to see Kevin Owens go through. Oh, now you got Jey Uso because or no Jimmy Uso because you wrestled Jey Uso last week. Oh, now you got Sami Zayn. Now you got Solo. And it builds you up to Roman Reigns. Like
Yeah, it'd be just like that Kung Fu video game.
where you got to work your way up to the final boss.
Uh huh.
Well, that's what they're going for.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, just if you're gonna build to something like that, but I don't know, man. I just wish that they would, as far as the wrestling part of it, they'd find somebody else to pair with. Because think about it, you're the like the War Games and the Royal Rumble. That's supposed to be the stuff that you make your money off of, or make big money off of at least. But if you're showing it every week on TV, what investment do I have other than this? Other than this show, what investment do I have to watch the Royal Rumble?
Well, you won't see Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns until the Royal Rumble. So there's that little part.
Okay.
Like, if if this were the Vince McMahon era, you would see Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens up until the Royal Rumble, only
What
to have another match at Royal Rumble.
and you know why we're not seeing Owens versus Roman Reigns up until the Royal Rumble is because Roman Reigns is on a limited contract.
Right. He's on a pitch
So
count.
I
Well, I'm just
mean,
saying, you just
if he had a normal
whatever
contract,
reason that
best
causes it.
believe he would be wrestling him every fucking week until the Royal Rumble. But even I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think he
it's
would.
still either way, it's still the same shit. He was in a War Games match with these people, and now he's wrestling him again. And he's probably gonna wrestle him next Monday.
No, next Monday, unless he wrestles solo. But next Monday we got the tag team champions versus Riddle and Elias
Oh, that's right.
for the tag team titles for some reason.
Well, they were teasing
and, and I've already picked what match I'll be taking my restroom break or my do anything else other than watch this match break. And it's not because of the Usos.
I get it. Well, they were teasing the Sakoa Joe Kevin Owens thing, so I wouldn't be surprised. But again, that's just the same shit. And if he's not wrestling the Usos, he'll be wrestling one of the Brawling Brute. Well, no, they're friends, but it's just, or he won't be wrestling. I don't know, man. It's just very redundant. You're supposed to have the best of the best, but you're only seeing like you know maybe one or two combinations.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you have to fill a story as well. because you can't just throw a random match versus random match. Like you gotta have something to be a reason why they're in the ring. You can't just have this person versus this person because it's a good match.
Yeah, you can. You start off with a cold match, and then something happens. The heel cheats to win. So now the babyface has a bitch about the way that he lost the match. So then they have a rematch, and then the
Well,
heel wins
he
again.
can't be starting another feud. He's already feuding with Roman,
He's not technically he's not feuding with Roman yet.
but he will be.
Will be. He's not yet. So he has time for a little feud.
Well, technically, he is feuding with Roman because they had the War Games thing.
Okay. Well, so is Sheamus. Sheamus is feuding with Roman. Butch is feuding with Roman. The other guy is feuding with Roman. Drew
Drew McIntyre.
McIntyre is feuding with Roman.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Just Kevin Owens.
No,
He
no,
took
no.
it personally that they lost because he got pinned.
He was in the War Games.
Well, I'm saying he got pinned, so he took it. You know, he has the most to get back at
Sheamus
Roman for.
Sheamus attacked
Even though Raymond,
Sheamus attacked the Usos with a shillelagh. He took it personally.
well, and that's why he's getting a match against the Usos.
Yeah, that'll be great. Another combination of the same shit, by the way.
Well, I don't know how they get out of. Uh, I don't know how they get out of this match
They don't.
because that means it's going to be a disqualification. Because the Usos are the Usos, and it's a title match, so they're not losing the titles to Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
No, they'll beat him.
This is this is not what this run has been for.
It'll be a distraction finish, and they'll beat him.
Yeah. Which brings
Or
us to SmackDown because we might as well get into that.
might as well.
Um,
The Bloodline they start off. Does Sami have a new song? Is that new?
I think that is new.
Okay, it's pretty dope, as the kids
I
like to
couldn't.
say.
Well, I couldn't really hear it good, so I think that was a new theme. I'd have to go back and listen to it again, but I'm pretty sure it was new.
Okay. Um, they basically did the same shit that they did on Raw. They sucked each other's dick. Sammy's great. Everybody loves each other. The only
Yeah, the
difference is
exact same
instead,
thing.
yeah, the only difference is instead of Kevin Owens, it was Sheamus.
Yep. And instead of Jey Uso, it was Sami Zayn this time.
Right.
So,
And and instead of Jey Uso losing, Sami Zayn won. Didn't he
yeah,
win?
so to put two and two together,
Yeah.
Sheamus, Sheamus comes out, he challenges Sami Zayn. We have well, it was unadvertised, but it wasn't impromptu because he sounded like that was already a determined match.
It's fight night! And all that dumb shit.
So we have Sheamus versus Sami. Uh, I was surprised that they went with this match because
We've
Sheamus is
just seen
over
it!
and well that too, but Sheamus is over and Sami's over. Um, and I thought that they were gonna since they since the crowd loves Sami, they were gonna boo Sheamus. Didn't happen. Sheamus still got his cheers. Um, they did
What?
boo
Why
during
didn't
the
they
10
let
piece
other
of the
guy
ballot.
wrestle Sammy?
Who?
Other
Rich Holland?
guy. Yeah. That would have been different.
Because he got booed out of the building, and he's supposed to be the baby face.
Okay, good point. Good point.
Um, yeah, Sami ends up winning this match with help from Jey Uso. Jey Uso, the end of the match saw Sheamus going for an Alabama Slam. Jey Uso super kicks him, and off of a distracted ref, of course. And then Sami Zayn gets a roll up for the win. Um, I was also surprised there because Sami usually never wins,
Yeah, he's been on kind of a losing streak.
but they gave him the win on this one. He pinned Sheamus. It was a good match, of course.
Yeah, it seemed like a great match. It's just again, I'm going to sound
Repetitive.
like a broken yeah. Um, the 10 beats on the whatever the fuck it's called. It's becoming my least favorite spot in wrestling. I
Like, oh no.
yeah, I see it every week, sometimes twice a week.
Yeah.
It's not special anymore. It's not whatever. Um,
No, what's different is how many times he does it.
whatever. It's stupid. The only enjoyment I got was watching Sakoa Joe fuck the guys up. Like he just came out and just wrecked shit. It was great.
Yeah. See, that's someone who should be beating up two men
Yes.
or two people. I should say two people. Like you look at him, he's beating up two people. He's not. He could beat up two tag team champions if they weren't the Usos, his brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see
But
that.
you have Becky Lynch doing it, and it's only gonna get even worse. Um, but yeah, so there's that segment. We move in to a Santos Escobar little backstage. They're hyping up the World Cup
Yeah.
again. Um,
Well, hold on. You're not sitting there. This is the first time I've actually appreciated the. I called them the essays last week. What are they called?
Legado del Fantasma.
Them. Um, this is the first time I've actually like appreciated them. So they're like little cartel people, right?
Yeah, they're smoking fine cigars, drinking on
Yeah.
the finest
They're,
wine.
they're drinking booze and with their little sunglasses on indoors, and they're smoking cigars, and then they're playing cards. Which how come bad guys just sit around and play cards when they're not doing bad guy shit?
I don't know. They like to gamble money, I guess,
Okay.
or it helps them think. I don't know.
But yeah, I really like the aesthetic, and I really I kind of got excited for. Well, I was already excited. Excited strong. I was interested in the match um, between him and Ricochet, but then I started getting excited because, like I said, this is the first time I really started paying attention to the those people.
Yeah, this was a really good segment for them. Um, and there you go. It's a. Oh, I don't know why I said there you go, but let me foreshadow it a little bit. This is a video package that kind of introduced you to the group of Legado del Fantasma. There's a video package that is needed later in the show that we're going to get into that would help things, but this kind of tells you what they're about, who they are, right?
Right.
It's introducing you to or introducing the crowd to them. Um, and I also want to point out that, and everybody probably, you're gonna want to see this segment, this little backstage promo or this little promo from them. And the main reason of all this is because of what Zelina Vega was wearing. My God, good God! Or what does Jr. say? By God,
By
what
God.
what she was wearing. My gosh. She looked like a whole bag of whatever. Good.
Okay.
I probably should have planned that out better. but but and, if the king was there, he'd be like puppies.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to her, to be honest with you.
Well, and obviously I have to say respectfully after all that. So there you
Well, fuck that. If she has nice, she has nice tits. Say she has nice tits. Don't say respectfully. You don't
go. All you
respectfully.
gotta say
You don't respectfully tit fuck somebody. I mean, come on.
is, you know, these days you can't be attracted to people, or you get canceled for being attracted to someone.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, not that I'm worried about getting canceled. I'm just saying.
Get canceled by our 3 viewer. Okay.
No, because we're gonna have the millions and millions who watch this on the replay
Mm.
and the clips and all this stuff.
So moving on.
So yeah, we had that. We then go to another little backstage thing. This time it was Kofi Kingston.
Uh.
He declares himself. I thought this was actually done. I thought I liked it. So Kofi declares himself for the Royal Rumble because we're already starting that as the Royal Rumble is the next major pay-per-view. Um, Not gonna win it, but he declared himself for the Royal Rumble. And Imperium, they they appear and they say that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods spend more time online than they do in the wrestling ring. Um, Kofi says that Xavier Woods is not there, but he challenged them to any one of them to a one-on-one match. Out of nowhere enters Gunther, and he's like, "Well, now you got your one-on-one match against me." So now you knew Kofi was in trouble. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him, or
Yeah,
chopped out of him, I should say.
Gunther wanted to whoop that ass. I'm glad that the Imperium cut Kofi's promo short, just because the him praising Santos and Ricochet, that just sounded phony as hell, and I don't know. You can tell he was acting,
Oh,
and
I
I'm not
glazed over that part.
like I don't mind Kofi in the ring. It's just when he's on the mic, he's not that great. Now Woods, on the other hand, I could listen to him talk almost all day long.
Yeah,
Almost.
I missed that part. um, but yeah, so Gunther he accepted the match, so we're gonna get Kofi Kingston versus Gunther. And then post kind of post segment, yeah, Kofi Kingston was like, "What? Were you just standing on the side the whole time?" Like he was pretending he didn't see him.
Right.
So you have that. We then go to another segment. This one, Bray Wyatt.
What does he do?
He gives a creepy promo.
Oh my God! What? No.
Yes,
A,
and this
a,
one
a
was actually
creepy
creepy.
one?
Yeah, and this one was actually creepy
Oh,
because he talks
he doesn't.
about
He doesn't do those very often. That's pretty special.
it is.
Was he in a
So,
Was he in a little backstage area with all by himself, and it was dimly lit?
of course, and
Okay.
there was music playing. But this segment, he pretty much shuts down or well, I guess I can glance over kind of what he said. I'm not gonna go like word for word, but he basically talks about if you a snake can kill a rabbit and no one is offended by it. It's just you know they're surviving. It's a snake being a snake. And when the fans thought that he attacked LA Knight, um, he can tell that they enjoyed it. And he says that he didn't attack LA Knight, or it wasn't him, because if it was him, there would be no more, no more parts of LA Knight left,
Hold on.
essentially.
So he said he didn't harm LA Knight, and then immediately after that he said I did. Didn't he?
um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell he was saying.
Okay.
But yeah, he said
I
it
didn't
wasn't
harm
me, but
LA
it was
Knight.
me.
I did. And then he said I harmed you or something like that.
Yeah, but then at the end of it, he said, you know, but if it wasn't me, because if it was me, there'd be no more. Basically, there'd be no body.
I don't.
So,
Whatever, dude.
um,
He's he's
but
get
yeah,
he's one more spooky promo away from getting into the fast forward category.
well, I told you months ago that this was going into Royal Rumble, so you listen to me. We ain't having this conversation. You already know that.
It's the same shit.
Except, oh, speaking of which, and we could talk about it because it's a story, but we don't have it written down. So the plan right now, because I know you're gonna love this. The plan right now for Bray Wyatt, of course, is to wrestle LA Knight at the Royal Rumble in a pitch black match. Whatever that means, no one knows yet. That is the It is going to be a gimmick match, and it's supposed to be pitch black. So that's his new gimmick matches thing.
I thought
Is to wrestle in pitch black.
I thought Vince McMahon was the one hurting him creatively. It sounds like the dumb fuck Firefly Funhouse match. That sounds like it was him. The filters. I notice he has filters still. A little mood
Yeah,
lighting.
the red light.
Like, what exactly is different about him, other than he's not in the ring now? Vince at least had him fucking wrestle.
Well, even when he came back under Vince when he was doing the Fiend, he didn't wrestle right away. We got that build up. I'm gonna show you this new character.
But didn't he attack people?
Or he always talked about no, he always did his little Firefly Funhouse segments. And
Oh yeah,
then
yeah.
he was like, don't you don't want to make me mad because he will take care of it. And yeah, then it's like flash the Fiend, and then um it wasn't as long as this has been, right? He came back. I don't know what has this been, like 2 3, we got to be on like 3 or maybe 4 months,
It's been a while.
and he hasn't wrestled one match.
He's thrown a headbutt.
Yeah, and so we're almost there though. We're almost at Royal Rumble.
Who the fuck likes this? Man, I really like my wrestling when they talk about nonsense and don't do anything with each other.
Well, I mean, I like Bray, so I put up
I
with
do
it.
too,
Like I'm willing to let him tell the story.
but it's not.
I don't need my.
I don't mind him telling the story, but it's not a good story right now, man. It's not a story at all. It's like it's like when you're reading a book and then you lose your place and you find out like you read the same like fucking page over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just the same shit. Bray Wyatt, spooky promo. Bray Wyatt, spooky promo. What's he talking about? Don't know. Sounds good saying it.
He's
And
telling
then
a
he
story. You
then
don't listen.
then he cock teases us with a headbutt and a feud with LA Knight. And then LA Knight's murdered. So there goes that feud. So now he's back to spooky promos.
Well, they're still getting to. They're gonna have a match at Royal Rumble. And again, I said, all you had to do is listen. I said, as long as you, this is gonna happen until the Royal Rumble, because it wasn't gonna happen at Crown Jewel. It wasn't gonna happen at War Games.
He could
Like
wrestle
this is
somebody.
gonna.
He could have a squash match against local talent.
I don't know. I don't want to see that.
Why not?
Cause he might be what if you saw the Fiend just show up on a Monday Night Raw? It wouldn't have been special.
It's not special now.
Like he came out at SummerSlam with the lantern and the music and all the thing that happened at SummerSlam. If that just happened on a Monday Night Raw with, oh, look at this character. Now we're gonna go to commercial and come back and he's gonna wrestle. Like,
No, it was best to keep him special so they can save him for the black slime and the Photoshop bugs and the shit he did with John Cena.
oh, the Firefly Funhouse match.
That shit.
That was great.
That was awful.
Cena was in a NWO uniform. I mean, outfit. Why did I say uniform? Cena joined the NWO. And then they were doing the weightlifting thing, and he was like, he kept lifting the weights, and he was like, ah, that was gold.
Well, I thought it was a disgrace. I don't know, man. It's just like you can only hear so much shit talking until like you want to see some results or some moving forward. It feels like we're moving backwards.
We are moving forward.
How are we moving forward?
He's attacking LA Knight, or maybe he's not. But
No,
then who is?
he attacked LA Knight. Now he's going back to spooky promos because LA Knight was
It's
nowhere to
just
be
one
seen.
week. It's just 1 week, and even then, it was him saying he didn't attack him. And then later on, you have Uncle Howdy talking about Rebel and who you are. So,
It sounds like
and
Bray Wyatt.
it does sound like Bray Wyatt. And he keeps talking about he's lying to you. Um, why are you letting him fool you? And yeah, he's basically saying Bray Wyatt, whatever he's saying is lying because Bray Wyatt is like trying to turn this new leaf of not wanting to hurt people.
Right.
But then he gives these promos talking about how he fantasizes almost about hurting people. So I don't know. But yeah, there's your Bray Wyatt segment. Um,
Yeah.
we then go to Baszler. Well, first we get Emma. She is in the back
Yeah.
getting ready for her match.
Drew Gulak had to give Emma pointers on how to get choked out before the match.
Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't see that.
Madcap Moss. My bad.
Oh, well,
Like
yeah,
I
she's
got choked out twice in a row, man. This is what you gotta do. You just gotta kind of relax your throat. Thanks, babe.
yeah. So, and again, they're a real life couple. So
Which
they're kind of
is
bringing that on screen for some reason.
yeah, it's stupid.
Um,
And then he said she's the responsible for the women's revolution. Like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Like you,
Now, I don't know if it was a mistake by her or if it was on purpose, but she did call him Riddick.
oh yeah.
So, uh, I don't know if that means we're going back to Riddick Moss or if it's still going to be Madcap Moss. But she called him Riddick, so yeah.
When was he Riddick
Um,
Moss?
when he started, right before he went with Baron Corbin.
And why did he change his name to Madcap?
Vince.
Oh.
He just debuted this new character,
So he
and it was
said,
him.
Vince said, man, that Riddick name, that's a shit name. You know what strikes fear in the hearts of men? Madcap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh,
So they have a, because the WWE has a, that's his real name, Riddick Moss. They have a thing about people using their real names because of
oh,
trademarks.
I gotcha.
So he's like,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna call him Mad, not Mad Cat, Mad Cap, whatever that even is.
Who knows?
But yeah, so that's what they went with. Um, but yeah, she called him Riddick, so I don't know if that was a botch or if that's what he's going back to. But there was that. She then went and had a match with Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Shayna Baszler, it wasn't a good match, but to fast forward to the end, Shayna Baszler wins via the Kirifuda clutch.
Oh, you made it that far?
What?
You made it to the end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
So yeah, Baszler wins with the Kirifuda clutch. Post match, she goes to attack Emma again. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. So she goes to attack Emma again. Cue Shotzi's music. She runs out for the save. Baszler then takes out Shotzi. So now she's taking out Emma. She's taking out Shotzi. Cue music again. Now out comes Raquel Rodriguez.
Who
Or
mysteriously has a healed arm now.
she had a brace on.
She's going out there for a fight.
Yeah. So yeah, she out comes out comes Raquel Rodriguez. Um, she gets to the ring. Emma gets up. Shotzi gets up. Shayna Baszler does the math. It's 3 versus 1. She backs down. Um, and then, as she's going up the ramp, she's like, "It took 3 of you, so I'm okay with that." Which I was also okay with that, right? That Shayna Baszler's supposed to be an ass kicker. It took 3 women to back her down, so I'm okay with that whole thing. Obviously, if you paid attention, we're getting we're building towards a Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey title match, which will also not be good because
Both of them
Ronda
suck.
Rousey Ronda Rousey needs a ring general, and Rodriguez is not a ring general. So
Both of them suck.
yeah, Ronda Rousey needs a ring general. And that is not what she's going to be getting. Uh, but that looks like that's what we're building toward for Royal Rumble.
Okay.
After that, we get a segment with Lacey Evans. She,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Real quick.
uh,
Uh, because I'd like to give my thoughts, if that's okay.
oh, you said you didn't watch it.
Oh,
I
I
thought that was your thoughts.
no, my as I watched up into the point where Emma gets Shayna into this beautiful headlock, right? And then she does this perfect, like almost textbook snapmare, right? And
Okay.
then she does like this little. I think it was kind of clumsy, but it was a little smooth. The little crucifix pin thing.
Uh huh.
Then I fast forwarded through that. There's no way this tiny little non MMA fighter should have any sort of offense like that against Shayna Baszler. The first half of the Gunther Kofi match, where like Kofi would get like one or two shots in, but then Gunther would stop him immediately. That should have been Shayna and Emma. Shayna should have just destroyed her. And the fact that Emma had any sort of competitive match against Shayna, it's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if it was competitive.
She had
That's a strong word.
okay.
She had some
You're
offense.
you're right. But it wasn't the fact that it looked like there was maybe some slim chance that Emma would have won. Like obviously she was not going to because everybody knows it's predetermined. But in the eyes of like a physical contest, it looked like Emma could hold her own physically against Shayna, and we all know that that's not true.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we all know if it was
Um,
legitimate that Shayna would fucking floss her teeth with Emma.
True.
So
Another thing to point out during this match that I failed to point out: the crowd was dead for this match.
because both of them are boring.
Well, it's not that they're boring.
Yeah, they're boring.
Uh, Mainly,
Nobody wants to see
I'm gonna
Emma.
take.
And what has Shayna done since
You
like
know why no one wants to see Emma?
why?
Cause who is she? No one knows who she is.
Yeah, they do. They know her from NXT. They
No,
know her because
no,
she
no.
did the weird dances, and then she had the bubbles, and then she did like a little. She had a main roster run, and then she went back to NXT. Then she had a little shoplifting incident. She was in the news for that. Like people know who she is.
I don't think they do.
They do.
Not this. So, and this and lies the problem. The people who watch the main roster are not your people who are listening to our show on going on the internet community. They're not going to the internet community. Maybe they're tweeting,
You don't have
but
to be on the internet to pay attention to some Australian chick or New Zealand chick that's been on bounced around between the developmental brand and the main roster. Like anybody with a basic knowledge of how WWE works would see that. And if anything, they would remember her from her stupid little dance. I'm telling you. That's what got her heat in the first place.
well,
Heat in the sense that, she got kind of, it was dorky and everybody saw, I mean, she got booed for it because it was stupid.
oh, I remember the dance. But I guess my whole point is people the majority of the crowd are would I would say are casual fans. They're not watching NXT. So you're not on the main roster, they don't know what you're doing. So you have to introduce these
She
people
was
when
on
they
the
come
main
back.
roster, though.
She was. But
And it
then she
was,
went back to NXT.
yeah, but
Her
it was,
biggest moments were in NXT.
I don't know, that stupid dance was probably her biggest moment.
And she did I don't know if Emelina was main roster,
Yeah,
but
she
that
did
lasted like
a little, she posed, and that was it.
yeah, that lasted like I don't know, 3 weeks or so.
If that, man, I felt like you saw her once.
So yeah, I would say for the most part, the crowd didn't know who she is. Uh, I guess we're gonna beg to differ there.
I guess so.
But
I mean,
that's
okay,
that's why they're getting no reaction.
if
Um,
if you're a fan, somebody that actually pays attention, you're gonna know who she is. If you're not, and you just just watch wrestling every once a week or something like that, or not once a week, but catch Raw every other week or something like that, then maybe. But I still think the dance was pretty memorable.
yeah. Um, but you got her, you got Candice LeRae, you got Mia Yim, who who was wrestling in a mask when she was on the main roster. All these people, they need video packages is what they need. They need something to let the crowd know who the hell they are. These casual fans. Like, do you remember back in the day, Razor Ramon when he was when he was debuting video packages. Mr. Perfect throwing the 70-yard pass to himself, video packages. I don't even know if that was his debut, but I just remember that
I think it was.
when he's throwing 70-yard passes to himself.
Well, that's what the vignettes were for. They were to introduce a new wrestler,
Yeah, these
but they
I know
don't
they're not new,
they
but they
don't serve
need to
any
be treated
purpose
as
if
new.
because Emma's been around now. So if you start doing vignettes for her, that don't make sense.
Well, you can't run around re-debut her like everybody's just supposed to know who she is, and she was supposed to be a big deal,
Well, at the very worst, she's Madcap Moss's main squeeze, who
and the
he
fans
teaches
don't
how
even
to
know
get
that.
choked out.
Like the the the
They just
casual
saw
fan doesn't even know that.
they just saw him kiss. Did you not see that hot and heavy embrace? They
Well, what is the
practically they
commentary saying?
practically did it.
What is the commentary saying? Oh, they seem to have a growing relationship, not a full-on hot and heavy. He's gonna go bang her in the locker room after this. He's gonna bend her right into the locker.
He didn't have to say it. You could see. You could see in both of their eyes.
Forget the locker. He's gonna put her right over that,
In
right over, bend her right over in gorilla.
fact, she forfeited the match.
Like,
She never made it out. Where are we taking this?
I don't know. She's just, yeah. We're gonna stop talking about that.
All right. So yeah, I skipped the rest of that. So moving on, Lacey Evans is Clint Eastwood now.
So, okay, perfect example. Lacey Evans just got a little video package. She's someone who is been on the main roster for I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years. Constantly, constantly, she's been on the main roster. She's been in title matches. There was an angle where she was impregnated by Ric Flair. Yes, that's not an exaggeration. Um, like she's been in main events against Becky Lynch.
Wasn't she like a Southern Belle or something?
Yes, she used
And
to be a
then
Southern Belle.
she was a Marine too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she's going back to the Marine because she was not anything. Like she was just there.
Well,
She,
most recently she was the Marine. They did this whole like before she. yeah, just like very recently, they did this whole series thing, or another set of video packages, where she was talking about like how she used to be abused as a kid and
Oh
her
God.
rough upbringing. Um, yeah, they just told this whole story about what she's had to overcome to even be a superstar. Um, and that's why she became a Marine. Um, yeah, as you can expect, that gimmick didn't get over. Yeah, the story was it was a sentimental story, but then when she's debuting on the Raw or when she's debuting on SmackDown, and you got the commentator saying, "Everybody stand up and give her the praise that she deserves." It wasn't gonna last long. She got booed out of the building. Like you're telling me to stand up and praise this person?
Right.
Like if I want to praise her, I want to praise her. But it's not because you're telling me to praise her.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they did all that, and then she came out and got booed. So then they had to turn her heel, and then she got written back off of TV. And this is where she is now. Now they're doing video packages again, and now she's like back to basics and going back to her Marine roots. So I say all that to say someone who's been a mainstay on the roster is getting video packages, but you got someone like Emma who no one really knows who she is, and she's not getting video packages.
But they kind of do though. But I mean,
Ooh, you know what? I want no. I guess that can't work. I was gonna say I
either way
want
though, to your
you
point,
know
if Lacey Evans is getting all these video packages and she's been around, Emma's been around too. So I mean, if there's no like, if they're not just doing it for people that are debuting, you know what I mean? Then I see no reason why they can't just do it for Emma.
yeah we need to know who she is.
Oh,
Um,
we do
I
know
I
who she
wanted to
is.
do I wanted to do a thing, and I might still do it as a short, just to like go up to wrestling fans, casual wrestling fans, not hardcore IWC wrestling fans, casual wrestling fans, just hold a picture out and say, "Do you know who this is?"
That's it.
I
Yeah,
mean, they might
Emelina.
no, they're gonna say, "Is that Emma?" They might say it now,
They'll even do the dance
but
for you. Oh,
they're
it's
not gonna.
Bubbles.
And to even think that the same fan is watching. I mean, Raw's getting. If we really want to talk about it, the ratings are declining, so we have less people year over year watching wrestling to begin with.
Well, that's because it sucks.
So the chances of someone that was around back then is still watching
That's because you got.
and not being a hardcore fan.
That's because you have Emma and Madcap Moss dry humping on national TV.
Oh God, you got her getting railed.
I mean, seeing that hairy bastard would make anybody's ratings, decline.
Well, that's what we got with Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna wait and see where they go with it. Uh, the only thing I thought when I saw it was like, oh no, they're trying to do it again. Like, here we go again with the video packages to try to tell fans how to feel about her. Like, just put her out there, let her work, let her do what she needs to do.
Right.
And if we cheer her, we cheer her. If we boo her, we boo her. Like, don't try to tell us what to think.
Just let her be herself. Like, if she is a Marine like that, then okay, let her be a Marine. But, I don't know. If she's a bitch, let her be a bitch.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know, her last gimmick, she was just like a female Lex Luger.
Hmm.
Remember him with the, and I mean Lex Luger like the tour bus Lex Luger.
Oh,
That's pretty much what she was.
so not the Lex Luger with the steel plate.
No, I'm
Oh,
talking about tour bus next Hulk Hogan Lex Luger, but she wasn't winning matches. That's the one thing. Like if she would have started winning matches, and now we're really talking about Lex Luger. Um, we then move to Kofi Kingston versus Walter. The Of course, it's a Walter match, so it was a good match.
yeah. Thank God for
Um,
Walter.
yes. Now there was a moment in this match where I thought that they were going to have Walter lose. I'm sorry, Gunther. I thought Gunther was going to lose, which I was getting ready to be upset at because it was a real close false finish. It was a So Braun Strowman, he comes out to continue the tease that he's going to be wrestling Gunther
Yeah, looks like we're headed
in the
that
near
way for
future.
sure.
Yeah, probably. I'll say it again. Probably Royal Rumble. Um, so we, so Braun Strowman comes out. He takes out Imperium. Um, During this distraction, you have Kofi Kingston hit a SOS on Gunther, and
You thought
I
that was
thought
all
that
she
was gonna,
wrote,
yeah, I thought they were just gonna have him lose from an SOS, which is more than a just a glorified roll up.
right?
Um, but it didn't happen, so
Nope.
sigh of relief there. Um,
Yeah. This.
one
This.
thing
Oh,
mhm,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say one thing that I kind of liked, kind of didn't, was they had they had Gunther hit his power bomb. Kofi Kingston kicked out of the power bomb, and that all led to a new
This.
move.
This little symphony of the night.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has a new move. It's called the Last Symphony. Um, Essentially, it is a power slam
Yeah. It
with
looked like the Bulldogs, British Bulldogs power slam. He just kind of sits down
yeah, and
to
he
the
doesn't run. He just like
right.
it's a standing power slam essentially.
I don't know. Just
Um,
I preferred it when he just had a plain old power bomb. Like I just recently listened to an interview with him saying that, oh no, I'm not gonna name my power bomb something fancy. But then he has this, what is it? The Last Symphony.
he changed that up real quick.
Yeah, it's kind of like when. Did you ever watch the CM Punk DVD?
No.
Oh, there's a part. It was like around WrestleMania where he's doing the confessional and he goes, "Yeah, I'm just one of them guys that I just go out. I'm me. I don't need all that fancy pyro and stuff." And then like 5 minutes later, they take him and ask him like, "Hey, what kind of pyro do you need?"
And then he has,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I want this one. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But I like the fact that they were playing it up as he he felt that he needed to evolve, so that's why he started using the power slam. Or, well, yeah, that's why he started using the power slam because he
I
needed to
guess.
evolve.
But is he going to be able to do that to
Because
Braun Strowman? Well, I guess.
hell
I
no,
mean, the same could be said with the power bomb.
yeah, that's funny because that's exactly what I said. As soon as he hit the move, I said, well, they gave him this new move that he's definitely not going to be able to hit Braun Strowman with. But nor was he going to hit him with a power bomb either.
Yeah.
So we were just going to have to do a chop finish.
I
And I
guess
don't
we'll.
know, maybe he can. Maybe he maybe we underestimate his strength and he can get him up.
I think he can. It's just, will they let him? I don't think he can
and
do that little weird power slam thing without it looking goofy.
he
But
can. I would I would say he can do the power slam more than he can do the power bomb
I don't
on
know. Like
Strowman.
Braun Strowman, all he
But
basically has to do is flip.
but isn't Strowman's move a power slam still?
I don't know what his move is.
No, sorry, he's doing the power bomb now.
Oh, is he?
He's changed it to the power bomb. Yeah.
So hold on.
Yep. Go ahead.
You mean to tell me the best wrestler that they have in that fucking company had to change his move that he does better for nipple rings?
Well, I'm not saying that, but I am saying they both had the same finisher, and now one guy has moved to the other guy's old finisher
That's some
because
bullshit, man.
Strowman used to do the power slam, but now he does the power bomb, and Gunther used to do the power bomb, now he does power slam. So um, I don't know if it's probably just a coincidence that that all happened. I would
Sure.
say I wouldn't see them directly needing to change that for
So at
the
the
match
beginning
that's
of the
coming
match,
up.
Kofi Kingston was he was dancing like Alex Wright, and he even said like Alex Wright. You know what? You Alex wrong.
Yeah, I like how he was saying. He was like, "Alex Wright, I know you know him."
I noticed that Gunther's the only wrestler that I've seen in quite some time that wipes his feet off before he gets in the ring. It's just I don't know, man. Everything about him is just great.
Because he respects the
He
sport and that's
respects the
sacred.
ring. Yes. And I don't know why Gunther can only whoop Kofi's ass when his boys are there. Like
Yeah,
he was beating the shit out of him, and his friends weren't helping, not really. And then Strowman runs them off, and then all of a sudden it's a match. Like that just didn't make any sense to me.
yeah, it didn't make sense.
But it was a great match though.
It was, and we're definitely getting, like I said, we're getting Strowman versus Gunther. Um,
God help us all.
it's gonna be at Royal Rumble.
We'll see.
Um,
We'll see what kind of rabbit Gunther pulls out of his hat to make that look good.
I think it'll be good. Um, I think it needs to just be like a, a hard hitting match. Just beat the shit out of each other. Don't try anything fancy. You're not gonna be. This ain't gonna be. If we want to spoiler, this ain't gonna be Gunther or this ain't gonna be Ricochet versus Escobar. Like you just need to get out there and lay the wood to each other. That sounds weird,
Can you
but
imagine
it may
Braun
not be.
Strowman doing a Frankensteiner?
That would be funny. He'd probably land right on his neck. Like I don't think he can get the full turn.
Probably not. No.
Um.
I don't know if he can get up there, let alone be in a position to turn.
Well, yeah, there's that part. You gotta get your. You gotta get pretty high to get up there. That used to be one of my favorite movies, the Frankensteiner. Back when back when we had the Steiner brothers and Scott Steiner did it. Not Big Papa Pump, I mean Scott Steiner.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it was one
we
of my
had
favorite
little
finishers.
80s women's jazzerciser outfits.
Yeah, and their Michigan coats.
Yeah, They were great. I remember when he first debuted and they called him White Thunder. I was all about that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, it only lasted for like an episode of Thunder.
Well, there you go.
Apparently, there's some connotations to the South that they wanted to avoid.
Yeah, they couldn't stick with that one.
No. Thus, Big Papa Pump was born.
There you go. Um, so we move in to Sheamus. Well, we move into Bloodline again. We have the Usos and Sami Zayn and Solo. They're backstage. They're Sami Zayn's talking about going out to eat. Um, they tell him to take Solo. This whole thing I didn't really get. I'll be honest. They tell him to take
Sammy
Solo,
Sammy was gonna
and
go
then
get food for everybody, but the Usos insisted that Sokoa Joe go as a bodyguard because Sammy has so much heat now because he betrayed Kevin Owens.
okay, and then perhaps you
Now,
can then also explain this part. So Sammy and Solo leave the screen,
mhm.
and then the Usos are talking to each other, and Jimmy and Jimmy says to Jay, he says, "Hey, did you confront Sammy about lying to your face?" And Jay says, "I talked to Big Oos, and he said he was going to look him in the face, and he'll know everything he needs to know." And that's what happened. And we won the and look what happened at the War Games. We won the match. So what I don't get is why Jimmy was bringing that up
Yeah, that was a little weird.
because now you know we have Jay fully trusting Sami Zayn, and then you go planting that seed like, hey, what about him lying to you? It's like he's trying to create that rift again.
Or
So
maybe
it's
it's
like it's
the
almost like he, uh,
maybe it's the first time that they've really had a chance to speak. I mean, it was Sunday, so and they've been
yeah,
partying and eating Waffle House together and all that.
yeah, I
So
guess
that,
so. Maybe
so
I'm
that,
reading too much into it.
I mean, yeah, it is. It was kind of weird and out of place. It was. I mean, you can kind of feel the tension.
Yeah, it's almost like you know, I want you to trust. I don't know. It's almost like Jimmy is faking this whole thing, but now he sees that Jay is starting to actually trust him, and he's trying to say, hey, "Look, okay, we don't trust this guy, but I can't tell you that.
Right.
I don't trust him, but I'm just acting like I trust him. But I can't let you start trusting." I don't know.
I don't know. It's just what gets me is because you saw the during Survivor Series the where he said that he didn't want Jay to have another thing to worry about, which is why
Right,
he lied to him.
right.
So I don't know, man. Maybe Jimmy is the secret mole. I kind of thought maybe Sokoa Joe was.
Yeah, he's just waiting for the word to turn,
Right.
like he's gonna be the one that attacks him.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. That was just weird. But then, before we can get any more out of that, Sheamus runs in with a shillelagh, hits both the Usos.
He does
Says,
Sheamus things.
yeah, he says, "Oh, if you happen to get past Matt Riddle and Elias, because you know, there's if I were a betting man, I would bet like everything that I have that they're that they will get past Elias and Matt Riddle. He said, "You got me and Drew McIntyre next," which has already been set up. So they're gonna wrestle Drew McIntyre and Sheamus for the titles next week on SmackDown. And then he walks off saying, "Banger after banger after banger." So yeah, there's that. Um,
That's original. I haven't seen the Usos versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. That'll be exciting and refreshing.
well,
That'll be a nice break from the same old shit.
it will be,
And when did Sheamus and
and
Drew
the fact,
McIntyre just? He's got three. He's got Butch and the other guy. Why does he need Drew McIntyre in his little clique?
too many holes, because they're best friends. He was
When?
his best man at his wedding.
Whatever, man.
Um,
He was feuding
and
with
see that.
Imperium with Butch and the other guy. Drew McIntyre was doing his thing with Roman. They've only been friends for like 2 seconds.
Well, they've actually been friends for longer,
Okay.
but they keep breaking up and making up. But um, herein lies another thing I said earlier. So we have the tag team champions. They lose the War Games advantage match because this is a rematch from a couple weeks ago. If you didn't get the joke here, um,
Don't
so
you explain it?
2 weeks ago they beat the champions, but now the title's on the line, and then the champions are going to magically win because it's a title match. But they shouldn't have lost the first match. Anyway, yeah. So we're getting that match. Don't get your hopes up. It will be the Usos versus McIntyre and Sheamus.
Of course it will be because that's the same thing we've been saying. Riddle
Well, I'm
and
saying they're
Riddle
selling
and
it like Riddle and Elias have a chance, but they don't.
yeah, but even if they did, but they don't because Riddle and Elias will be different.
True.
We haven't seen Drew
Different.
McIntyre and Sheamus wrestle Riddle and Elias, so there's no way in hell.
I mean, you gotta have it first sometime, at
We
some point.
we need to have different variations of tag and singles matches up until the big pay-per-view match, and then we just recycle. It's,
There you go.
yeah,
Speaking of recycle, this is a good way to move on to the next segment because we have damage control.
yeah, set it up for you.
They come out to the ring and they're talking some. Really, they're saying nothing. Let's be honest. They're just talking about being on SmackDown because SmackDown needs ratings. And um, out comes Liv Morgan, who continues to try to be
Mick Foley.
a hardcore legend. Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, there's three of you. It sounds even to me," and then just runs in to get her ass beat. Um,
You know what bugs me the most about her is she's trying to
what?
do this little hardcore thing, but then like you see pictures of her on the website, and she has her little ponytail with her stupid little glasses, and just completely unbelievable. Like in no way, shape, or form does she even remotely seem to resemble what she's trying to portray on TV.
I know. You need some scars. You need your
Like,
face cut up a little bit.
you know why the shit kicker gimmick worked for Austin is because he's kind of a shit kicker, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, she's completely trying to play someone that's not believable for her.
No, no way in shape or form do I believe this tiny little blonde is addicted to pain. This perfect faced blonde loves pain.
I know, that's what I'm saying. She needs some scars. She needs to get cut up a little bit.
She needs some. She needs some juice, some color.
Yeah.
They
She
don't.
needs some barbed wire wrapped around her a little bit.
They don't do color anymore.
True. But I'm saying she needs some barbed wire wrapped around her. She needs to be put through a flaming table. Let's get her some scars that she's gonna live with for the rest of her life, so we can believe it. Make me a believer. Cut her up.
Make it
But
gush.
yeah, she runs out there. She takes on damage control. Um, this time they actually get the advantage, so there's that. Um, Not immediately, of course, because you gotta have Liv Morgan get a little bit in.
Cause she's a
But
legend.
yeah, but finally the 3v1 catches up to her. And then all of a sudden, as she's getting her ass beat, music hits and Tegan Knox, who came out to absolutely no reaction because no one knew who she was. Again. See, you have your little thing for the show about being repetitive rematch and rematch. I have my thing for the show, and it's people debuting, these NXT legends debuting, and no one on the main roster, these casual fans don't know who the hell they are, so they come out to zero reaction.
You know, it would solve your problem if you just watched it on NXT.
I watch NXT. I know who Tegan Knox is. I know that her and Dakota Kai have this big rivalry that dates back to War Games and her and Dakota Kai turning on her. The casual fan doesn't know that, and they didn't explain that when she ran out to help Liv Morgan.
Sometimes you don't need an explanation. Did we get an explanation
True.
when Brock Lesnar came in and it started F5ing people?
Okay.
What?
Now you see what you just did to prove your
I'm
point.
no, I'm not
Now you
comparing. I'm not. No, don't you no, don't you
you
do
see what
that.
you just did
Don't you
to
do
prove your
that. See
point.
now you're putting thoughts into my head. No,
You see what you just did.
I'm not comparing anybody to Brock Lesnar. What I'm saying is the surprise debut or the cold debut. I mean, sometimes that works. A 3 minute
It
warning.
works.
They didn't get a little video package. They just started beating people up.
Well, that was even an angle.
Okay.
But she comes out to zero reaction. She saves Liv Morgan. She then also gets her ass beat. Liv Morgan pulls out a kendo stick because she's a hardcore legend
Yep.
and evens the odds that way.
She's better than Terry Funk.
Um, Now I will say she was actually swinging the kendo stick pretty good. Like she was really hitting them. So there's that. It wasn't just like a love tap.
Because you know how Vince would bring him up to the main roster and he'd shit on him. But now Triple H is going to bring him over to the main roster and maybe put them in spots they don't necessarily need to be in.
Yeah, he's treating them like a big deal. Yeah. Not necessarily saying they're not a big deal, but I just think he is catering to a crowd that he doesn't have on the main roster, which is a hardcore crowd. Because, as I've been saying, for the most part, your people who are watching Raw and SmackDown or going to the shows, oddly, are casual fans. They'll watch when they can watch. They're not going to go out of their way to watch every week. They'll pick it up every once in a while. They'll hear the show's coming coming into town. So it's like, hey, let's take the kids to that. So they
And
don't.
when they do, they'll get treated to a spectacle like um, Tegan Lesnar coming out and saving Liv Morgan.
Yeah. So yeah, Triple H is treating him like a big deal, which they could be, but it's just not. It doesn't match the audience. Um,
Well,
which is funny because that's. Oh,
and what
go ahead.
universe do they like? If you watch The Simpsons, they don't like stop every 5 minutes, or you take every 5 minutes, or I'm sorry, take 5 minutes out of every episode to explain each and every character. You either know them, or you don't.
True.
So I mean, for them to have a package, or to take the time to introduce somebody as opposed to just letting them kind of introduce themselves, especially
But
when there's
even
nothing really to what's she gonna say? I'm Emma.
well, even on The Simpsons, at some point they get a backstory. Like Sideshow Bob, yeah, he just showed up,
Well,
but
Emma just
then
came back. Let him let she has a backstory. She just got a tutelage from Drew Gulak or Madcap Moss. I don't know. I keep
she's got her back blown out by him.
yeah. They had that
She's got tuned up.
intense love scene.
Well,
So I mean, if you watch consistently, you'll eventually learn who Emma is, just like any other show.
true. But I'm just saying we could do this beforehand for these call ups, for these callbacks, whatever you want to call them. You can
I guess, but this is
you can
how many
spend
times has
time
she been
to
in the ring since she's come back? I've just seen her backstage, pinching Madcap Moss's nipples.
she's had two matches, both losses,
Okay,
both to the MMA woman
okay,
Ronda Rousey, and that's another thing. She comes back and she's just eating L's like Pac-Man.
yeah. I
But
don't know.
that's just why the crowd they're that's why none of them are getting a reaction. Um, but
Well, that and she's boring, and she's not very good.
who Tegan Knox? She might be.
I didn't think she was.
She hadn't wrestled yet.
I was talking specifically about Emma, but Tegan Knox wasn't anything special either.
Well, she only had three matches.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, she's out there, no
you said
reaction.
you said all I needed now.
She's out there, three matches. Oh, I'm sorry. She's out there. She helps Hardcore Holly, and there you go. Finally, we get to the main event, the finals of the World Cup. And again, I don't know how they do this more than every 4 years because that's when the World Cup is. So I don't know if this is going to be an annual thing or not. But
I think
we
they'll
have the
forget about
finals.
it as soon. They've forgotten about it already.
You know, that's how you get that. That's how you get that SEO. You title something the World Cup, and then when people are searching for World Cup, they're like, "Oh, WWE," and they think that's just a country or something, and then they tune in, and then you got your little chance to get them hooked. Anyway, you got the World Cup finals. You got Ricochet versus Santos Escobar. Um,
This one kind of disappointed me.
you don't like the match? I like the match.
It was all right. I just well, they kept calling Escobar like the god or the king of lucha libre, and he didn't really do a whole lot of lucha libre. He did a couple Frankensteiners, and he did a Mexican surfboard. But what about it? What about his performance? Kind of, I don't know. I just didn't see any lucha.
Yeah. Um, so when he was in NXT, his whole thing was he was going to reshape the lucha in his image, but
Well,
the
God,
luchador.
if that's what it is, I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, he's reshaping the luchador in his image, which is his new wrestling styles without all the flips and flops.
His match with what was it, Butch? I thought was better. His first match of the tournament.
Yeah. Um, there were some amazing spots in this match. Um, you had an actual poison rana, which they almost never do. Um, yeah, there was a moment where they're outside on the barricade.
Wait. What's a poison rana?
The reverse Frankensteiner that
Oh, okay,
you spike the guy or you spike him.
okay. I thought that's what you were talking
So
about. Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
yeah, there was a there was a reverse Frankensteiner and a poison rana in that match. Um, the one from the top rope was a reverse Frankensteiner. But there was a moment where Ricochet is walking the barricade. Santos jumps up on the barricade, um, and then they hit a Frankensteiner. This got a big pop from the crowd. There was another spot that was pretty good. Santos goes for a top rope Frankensteiner, and Ricochet, from the top rope, by the way, reverses it by landing on his feet. So he does the Frankensteiner, and Ricochet flips through it and lands on his feet.
Yeah, that was a little bit too
Um,
much for me.
that also got a big pop from the crowd.
It was, I mean, it was impressive, but it's just like, okay, now you're starting to, I don't know, it just looked rehearsed, which I'm sure it was.
Yeah, just laying on your feet like that and not rehearse it. Um, we've Oh, by the way, I didn't say this before, and it's kind of important to the outcome of the match. Legado del Fantasma got kicked out of the match, so this was virtually a one-on-one match.
Yeah, it was
Why
really
that's
good
important?
for the, I mean, not really good. It was entertaining. Like it kept me interested. I didn't just turn it off like I do the Liv Morgan stuff.
Well, there's that. Um, Also, what helped was they got 22 minutes for this, so they got enough time to work their stuff in. I could have done it. I thought it always it always hurts for me when it's on TV because of the commercials. So like you get a big spot and then they go to commercial and then you gotta like it just takes you out of the match. Um,
Because you're hungry for fried chicken and stuff.
yeah, you gotta watch all the stupid commercials. Even though they've been a lot better, but yeah, you gotta wait for that now. Yeah, you see like all these fast food places.
I
Man, they
always see a
really
lot
they
of
really hone in.
yeah, I see a lot of KFC and Zaxby's.
Yeah, they really hone in on the food commercials during Raw.
Hmm.
It's like they know that.
Well, you did see Bob.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Got
I'm seeing like,
a whole lot of Zachary's and Bob's.
and and it makes me sad because there's not one here. There's this commercial for this place called Hardee's,
Oh yeah.
and like the whole menu looks like it's. You want to talk about Sheamus banger after banger?
Oh, it's all
Like
right.
the whole menu, like they got like, well, it sounds like you have one there. So,
Yeah, I got one down the
but they
street
got like
actually.
brisket on the burgers and like prime ribs on burgers and all this shit. It's like, golly, man.
Like
And we don't even have one here, and I gotta watch these advertisements.
they got a fair amount of meat in their burgers. It's just they're kind of bland.
Mm.
So it's just like eating meat with vegetables and no seasoning.
Oh, that's a shame.
They used to have a Philly cheesesteak burger that I adored. I don't know whatever happened to it. It's probably the
Well, it
only one that
seems like
liked
they
it.
do. It seems like they do a lot of limited time things, or at least that's what advertises. Like, oh, it's here for a limited time. You better come get it now. Um, but yeah, unfortunately, there's none here, so I don't even know why I see those commercials, but I do.
Right.
It almost made me want to like get one shipped to me one time, like FedEx ship. And it's like, well, they just have to find a way to keep it hot until it gets here.
Better overnight it then
Yeah,
on a hot
yeah,
plate.
and just put the hot plate or one of them bags with the foil in it.
Yep. Or one of them candles.
Yeah, it's like, just get it to me, and I'll be waiting at the door. And you do it first thing in the morning. I think we can get this done.
That's how I feel when I see like Jack in the Box or Whataburger commercials. Like, why? Why do you gotta show this to me?
Yeah, they need to. I don't know, but yeah, the commercials take you out of it, or they take me out of it for a little bit. But um, overall, it was a pretty good match, or I thought it was. Ricochet wins the match off of a 620 or 630, whatever the revolutions on that is.
It was
And
6:30.
yeah, 630. And he has moved on to the right to get his face or his chest chopped in by Gunther. He gets an Intercontinental title match. This is going to happen in 2 weeks. Um, I'm still on the camp of it makes sense that he wins the Intercontinental title. Do I think he's gonna win? Now I'm not thinking it because they're going Braun Strowman next, but I
Yeah,
still could see it.
the only thing I see as far as him losing is like he does continues the angle where he's too scared of Braun. Says apparently we want to book our best commodity running away like a bitch.
Yeah, and that was another thing. So, or that's how I can see it happening: is Braun Strowman comes out, that causes enough of a distraction for Ricochet to win. Um, but the two things that I was taking away from this is they were making such a big deal for this whole World Cup thing. You had all the vignettes, all the backstage segments. You have Michael Cole trying to put it over as much as he can. So they want to make this such a big deal. Then if they then you have the winner actually win, the title match afterwards. That's one. And then you have and then the other thing is you have Ricochet. He's holding up the cup. He's got all the pyro going off. Like you're wasting all that pyro for him to just go out there and lose to Gunther. That's what I thought when I saw the pyro going off. It's
Oh,
like,
they do pyro for no reason. They do pyro like they have to do their little entrance when they come out for the pyro when they're running to stop a brawl or something. They still do their pyro dance.
you don't get pyro during a brawl.
Yeah, they come and
But
run
if
out.
they
Ah,
did, that
da,
would be funny.
da.
That would be funny though. They're stopping and getting the pyro shooting off. Meanwhile, the person's getting their ass beat.
I think AJ Styles did that. Gotta get my pyro. That's
Yeah,
a
that would be funny. But
that's a great way to do that. But how can we incorporate my pyro?
maybe I like shoot it off and then I'll run out and like, and then I don't think anybody will question it though.
You're
Like, why was the pyro going off if you're just going to run out?
not even gonna be out there for 5 minutes. Yeah, but they need to know it's me.
Yeah, that's part of my entrance.
But we'll see what happens with Walter and or Gunther and Ricochet. I'm, eh, I'm not as excited about this match as I was for Escobar and Ricochet. I mean, I'm excited to see the ring general, but if it's anything more than what he did to Kofi, then I don't know.
And again, I think you kind of it has to be because of this whole World Cup thing. You built this up to be such a big deal, and, and thus now you've built Ricochet up to be such a big deal
Mm,
because he won the World Cup. He's the guy. Like should be being pushed to the moon then.
guess we'll see
So
what
now
happens.
he's gotta go out there and look good. Um, definitely expect Strowman to be involved in some way, whether that be the title change hands or not.
Or just to stare
Um,
down at the end.
or yeah, or that gets Ricochet a lot of his offense. Maybe a close finish, kind of like it happened with Kofi. I don't know, but there you go. We'll talk more about that in 2 weeks. But yes, that is your Raw and your SmackDown overview, thoughts, and whatever else, reactions, breakdown, all those things of the show. But we do have some stories to go over, as that will be a good place to end it on. Where we have is that of Austin Theory. So Austin Theory believes that he will be could be the one to take down Roman Reigns. He did a recent interview. I don't know who it was with. Um, but here's the quote in his recent interview. He said, "Whoever is going to beat Roman Reigns, it's going to be someone that is really going to beat Roman Reigns, and not just some luck." And I think the chapter that Austin Theory is headed now is setting him up. Hold on. I'm kind of thrown off here. um, Austin Theory, Theory is headed now is setting him up to being that qualifier to stand toe to toe with Roman Reigns. Did he refer to himself in third person here? Is that what I just read?
I think so, yeah.
Because he said Austin Theory. It kind
Yeah.
of threw me off there.
Well, unless somebody else said the quote, I think this is your quote.
Yeah, I couldn't find the source of where this quote came from. I just saw this sound bite, if you will.
Okay.
They didn't credit the source, so I couldn't tell exactly who did the quote. But I
So
thought it
this
was Austin Theory.
so this could have just been some lady at McDonald's.
Right.
Okay.
But this wrestling source put it on here, so you would assume it's someone credible to wrestling, as
Fair.
in like someone who has an opinion on wrestling.
I just say I would say this is just a drawback to everybody knowing that it's all fake because you know a couple weeks ago he said that he was too chicken shit to cash it in on Roman because nobody was ever going to beat him ever. Certainly not him. So
Right.
now because he lucked into a U.S. title reign, now he's prepared for Roman.
Well, no, it wasn't even the title reign. It was because he failed his cash in, and now he's a new Austin Theory.
Oh, okay. So it's or whatever. That's dumb.
But yeah, you're a new Austin Theory. Although this was the new Austin Theory 2 weeks ago, who was talking about Roman Reigns is invincible and no one can touch him right now. But now you're saying you could be the one that's gonna beat him. Like I don't know. It just further disprove or just further shines a light on how stupid that cash in on the U.S. title was.
Well, and it shows that Theory kind of doesn't get it. Like if he's like I just he could at least pretend that he cashed it in. You know what I mean?
Cashed it in on Roman.
No, on the well, yeah, he did. He tried to do it a couple times. He got stopped by Lesnar and Tyson, but I don't know. For him to, it's like he's treating it like it's a performance instead of like that's Austin Theory.
Oh, with with what he was saying. Oh, I think Austin referring to himself in third person, but he's referring to his character and not himself.
Right. Well, that and I mean he just said on national TV that he's incapable of beating the current champion. But now that he's not on TV anymore, the guy playing Austin Theory is like, oh yeah, this is a great opportunity for me to beat Roman Reigns now. Like he's not paying any fucking attention to what his character is saying.
Yeah, that's true. And also the cash in was stupid. Let's
Yeah,
not
well,
let's not glance over that.
no, I agree with you there.
Again, this is the first time in history that someone was able to get a "that was stupid" chant. So that is rarefied ground.
I just know it's just I prefer when they pretended like it was real.
True. Someone who does pretend like it's real, for better or worse, is one Ronda Rousey. Now, the fans have seemingly turned on her. She did well, so she had her War Games match, as you know,
Yeah,
and she
if
had
you want to
that
call it a match.
with Shotzi, yeah. And she had that DDT moment where that was terribly botched. Um, So from that moment, um, Fire Ronda Rousey became trending on Twitter. So the fans completely have given up on this whole Ronda Rousey experience. They want to see her gone. No more Ronda Rousey. Uh, get rid of the title. Go back to MMA. Go back to movies or whatever you need to do. But get out of WWE.
She is pretty terrible. Like when she does promo work, it's I don't know. It's not very believable to, at least to me.
Well, her promos are terrible. She has no character in her promos. Like it's all monotone.
Yeah, and it's
Now it's
wooden
getting
and
yeah, now it's getting like a tad better. Now
you
that
think so?
she's like, well, now that she's paired with like she's been doing less. Like she's not going out there and trying to read a full script. She's like doing sound bites essentially.
I don't know. I
It
don't
kind of
think.
almost seems like it almost seems like Shayna's doing being the mouthpiece of the group, and Shayna, I'm sorry, and Rhonda is just like doing her little, you know, one and two words here and there.
I just think Ronda's just all around terrible. I don't think she. It doesn't seem like she takes it seriously. She's just there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at one point she did. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Um, and she might indeed take it serious, and she just can't get it. That's also an option.
Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, I'm not obviously I'm not in any way in a position to verify whether or not Ronda Rousey trains or how hard she trains, but it's just I don't know. It's like she's just kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, and I think at this point, if not that I want to see anybody fired, of course, but I think at this point, if you're not getting it, then maybe it's time to try something else.
Well, I mean, if okay, let's be realistic here though. If she's fired, she'll either go into the movies or she could do a payday with one more MMA fight. I think the Misha Tate thing still has legs. I don't know.
Does Misha Tate still fight?
I don't know. She said she'd come out of retirement for her. I think, or Misha
Oh,
Tate wants it. I don't know.
still got the fake rock.
Probably.
Because I ain't interested in seeing it unless that's there.
So I mean, she'll she won't be out of a job. And worst case scenario, she'll just be selling auto parts back in Las Vegas, or where the hell she's from. I mean, she's in a luxury position and she's bad at it. And when you're bad at your job, you shouldn't be working at your job anymore. You should be fucking fired. Now, to that point, it ain't gonna happen because it's Ronda Rousey. She's still the biggest name that they have, bar none.
Yeah, she has her name value. Um,
But just think
yeah, I
about it
think she
though.
could.
Look at how Brock Lesnar is portrayed or how he carries himself, and just look at how Ronda Rousey carries herself.
Yeah, and again, I don't think she should be fired, but I think she should do the right thing and just move on.
Now that bitch needs to be axed.
Or she won't be,
No,
like you
she
said. She won't be because she is Ronda Rousey. I
yes,
mean, they kept Tank Abbott around, so
that's true.
they're gonna keep Ronda Rousey around. Like he, That guy was just a punch. That's all he was. Although when he got to the point where he started dancing, then he lost all his name value at that point.
Yeah, he didn't care
Like
about anything.
I didn't want to see him on TV ever again after that.
He might as well just come
But,
to the ring with like a bottle of whiskey or something. I just don't go fuck. Pin me.
um, next up we have uh Eric Young. Apparently, he is on his way back to WWE. If you're one of the three people who watched Impact, you would have seen that Eric Young had this segment with
Did
some
you see it?
guy. Yeah,
Okay, good.
and I will say it was a pretty good segment. Like it was
I
well
knew
done.
you'd
It was
love it.
well shot.
I knew you'd love that shit.
No, I'm just saying it was well produced. Um, I don't know why they were in that room, but they were in that room. There was a shiv in that room. I don't know who the guy was he was in there with. Um,
Well,
I guess they were.
apparently there's a sickness going around, and they had to contain the sickness inside that room. And one of them had the sickness inside of them, but they both had to demonstrate that they were willing to do anything to kill the sickness.
Yeah. So him and this other guy, they start fighting over the shiv, and um, the other guy wins and
Yep.
kills Eric. Yeah, he and he kills him. So uh, you don't actually see it on screen, but what you hear is you hear Eric Young yelling, "Eliminate the sickness! Eliminate the sickness!" Um,
Then
and
the
then he
stabby.
stops. Yeah, and then he stops talking all or like then he just gets quiet, and then the guy sits in a chair and he's got like blood all over him. So and the shiv has blood all over it. So he killed him, and that was basically them writing him off of TV. He's going back to WWE.
Yeah, and what a way to be
Uh,
written off.
yeah,
Like, what
for
the fuck
sure.
is Impact doing?
Mm,
They got their wrestlers in prison shivving each other.
yeah, and you know now he really can't go back to Impact.
No,
Like he got killed. Like if it doesn't, like let's say he goes back to WWE and it doesn't work out. Now you can't, you can't just,
better hope Tony's
oh,
hiring.
wait, didn't I kill you? No, you didn't. Nope, that didn't happen. Like you can't just go do that. Um, but yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do in WWE.
I think I mean, well, now I don't think that there's going to be a Wyatt six, but if there was a Wyatt six, I think he would be a fantastic addition to that.
Yeah, he would definitely be. I don't know if he's like gonna do coaching or if he's gonna be an in-ring talent. If he is an in-ring talent, it would take some work, but I think it would be a good thing if they brought back Sanity, which is his old NXT group. It was
Right.
him, Alexander Wolf, Nikki Cross, forgot the other guy. Killian Dane was in it too. He's not in the company. Alexander Wolf's not in the company, so you'd have to bring them back.
Or just get
But
other guys. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Fuck it.
no,
Yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah. Who cares?
But yeah, if if you bring back, if you have him be the leader of Sanity, that's a good thing. Um, aside from that, like if he comes back to be a solo, not good. If he's going back to NXT, dead product. So that's really that's really all you can really bring him back for.
Is it for yet another faction?
Yes.
God damn, how many factions do we need?
As many as it takes. Um, I don't. Aside from that, in all honesty, like if it's not to to reform Sanity, I don't even see him as like a good signing for WWE. If I'm being honest, like
Right.
there's no, there's nothing Eric Young is gonna do with his raspy voice that's gonna captivate me. Like I'm not going out to watch Eric Young matches solo.
I don't know. I
Although
kind of.
he does sell a good pile driver. I will say that. Like he when he gets a pile driver and he's like convulsing,
Yeah, I like
that's
him.
good. But like we're not gonna be seeing Eric Young versus Roman Reigns, Eric Young versus Gunther. It ain't happening. Um.
You never know. He might be the next big opponent for Roman Reigns
Okay.
if he's willing to get shivved.
Well, there you go. Um. And there goes for Impact. They're losing more and more people. They're gonna have like as many wrestlers as they do fans, which is two. It's just a matter of time before that happens. Um, but as we talk about people going back to WWE, I guess that brings us to one final thing, and that would be Lord William Regal. Apparently, he is on his way back to WWE.
That's the rumor. Well, apparently, it kind of evolved because it was reported that he had a year left on his contract, and it's like, oh wait, no, 3 years. And then there was somebody said that he had a clause in there that if Triple H came to power, that he could leave early. That was the last I heard of it.
He made that deal with Tony Khan?
Yeah,
Huh. I didn't hear that part.
I think Brian Alvarez said that from the
Okay.
Wrestling Observer.
Okay. So yeah. So that's pretty much where we are with Rowan Regal. He now if you watch Dynamite, he definitely got written off TV as you have MJF knock him in the back of the head with brass knuckles.
I thought he hit him in the back of the head with a microphone.
No, it was brass knuckles.
Okay,
And they sold it like he pretty much speaking of killing, they sold it like he pretty much killed him.
right.
They're talking about how
He's
he
got a
only
brain
had
bleed and pins and needles and
yeah, and they showed him like getting in the ambulance and yeah, getting taken out of the arena. So he definitely 100% got written off of TV. And then with all the speculation, everybody thinks that he'll be back in WWE.
yeah. It's I mean, if you believe the dirt sheets, quote unquote, then it sounds like that's what's going to happen. Real quick, what'd you think of the MJF title?
Um, I was fine with it. It was pretty much
Yeah,
the same title, just different strap.
yeah. They made this big deal about it, and I all it looked like was a brown strap. The announcers actually had to tell me like there was something special about it. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, it was Burberry.
Yeah, I couldn't see that pattern at all.
I couldn't either. And when they unveiled it, I was like, is that this isn't that the same title?
Yeah,
Like I didn't even know there was a difference.
yeah.
Like he's
Well,
like,
yeah. I
that
saw
was
that
the
the
old
strap
title
was
and this
brown.
is
That's it.
well, I didn't even see that. I just saw it as like because I was looking at the gold
Uh huh.
and I was like, it's the same. Because I thought there's gonna be like I don't know a different logo or something on it, like a
Right.
Brahma Bull or something. Like when WWE does the new titles and the gold part is different.
Yeah, like a real
So I was,
company.
so I'm looking at the gold and I'm like, it's the same thing. And I'm really looking at it, and then they're like, oh, the straps are Burberry.
Burberry.
I was
And
like,
then
oh,
Tony
well,
Khan
it's the
does
same
this.
titles, just reskinned.
Tony Khan actually said bleh,
What?
or not Tony Khan. Tony Schiavone.
Oh,
He was like, they
yeah.
desecrated our title. It's hideous. Bleh.
Well, he hates MJF.
Yeah. I just think they could have done better.
Well, all that said, Regal is out. Um,
But what is that?
if I'm being,
Oh, go ahead.
uh,
Good.
I was gonna say, if I'm being honest, I don't even know if it's a good move for him to leave AEW. Um, I was thinking, like, what's he gonna do in WWE? NXT, as I said previously, is a dead product.
Mm.
So, if he would be going back to be like a general manager for NXT like he used to be, like he's taken over this, um, so that's kind of a waste for him.
Well, he's he's
Um,
he's going from being the basically valet of somebody that doesn't need to be spoken for to being the right hand man of the person that's in charge of everything. So I think that's a good move for Regal.
but it's NXT.
You don't know that he's going to be involved in NXT. Shawn Michaels is over at NXT now, so Regal could be doing something else. He was the right hand man of Triple H when Triple H was overseeing NXT.
Right.
So now that Triple H has more responsibility, what's not to say that Regal might be head of talent relations or something?
So he's going to be an off the screen character.
I would think so.
Okay. Well, then that's different. I'm thinking like, you know, and that's a possibility. He's going back just to be an off the screen character. Fine, that's fine. His son is in NXT. Maybe he wants to spend more time with his son, or, well, or not spend more time with his son, be around his son. You get it.
Right.
Um,
No, I
so
don't see
maybe there's,
him. If he's in, like, maybe he'll be an authority figure on TV, but I think his value is what he can do behind the scenes.
yeah, and
And
I know he did a lot of work in like NXT UK.
right.
He's pretty much the brainchild behind that with signing people and or finding people.
Yeah, and Tony
Um,
just doesn't seem to be smart enough to take advantage of that, of what he can do backstage. Hell, he's not doing that with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett ran two
okay,
two
let's not
promotions himself.
let's not talk about Jeff Jarrett being in charge of anything.
I didn't say in charge of anything, but what
Let's not
value?
try to take it.
Where?
No,
No, hold on,
we don't want it.
hold on. Where if Jeff Jarrett is going to be involved in AEW in any way, shape, or form, what value does he have? Behind the scenes or in the ring?
Behind the scenes,
Okay, then
and
that's
he
that.
already
And
has
if
he
Tony,
does stuff behind the scenes.
that's all he should be doing. He shouldn't be wrestling. You can't do both.
I'm not arguing with you there.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You
You
son of a.
said You said they should be taking advantage of his mind or whatever.
They should.
Like, don't you don't be taking wrestling advice from Jeff
I'm not.
Jarrett.
I'm not saying taking ideas and stuff, but he's done it. He's walked the walk.
Creative, nothing creative and Jeff Jarrett should be in the same sentence in AEW. Now, what he's doing right now is, he's in charge of like the live shows or something. So he can do that.
Yeah,
He can do that all day.
which means he makes sure that Ticketmaster has the link up correctly. If that
Yeah.
he needs to be involved in the actual wrestling business.
Well, I don't want to get. Then go back to Impact. You want to be involved in the wrestling business.
He
They need
can't
help.
he can't because he slept with one of his employees' wives,
Who?
Kurt Angle.
Oh, they're married though.
He still slept. She was married with to Kurt Angle at the time.
Well, she ain't now. She's getting that double J.
J double.
she's getting that work.
Getting that E double F.
Yeah, he's pounded her and saying, "Ain't I great?"
As soon as he's done, he does that strut.
Yeah,
I
I mean
just I just orgasmed.
they seem to be pretty happy. They're still together and all, so there's that. So it worked out. But
But he was that doesn't hide the fact that Jeff Jarrett as the one of the most important people in Impact slept with an employee's wife.
well, she slept with him too.
But she's
Wasn't
not working
two.
for Impact.
Wasn't a one-way thing.
Or at least
Unless it
I
was,
don't
and
know
then
if she was
there's
or not
more
actually.
trouble there.
She could be fired too. Fuck it. I don't care.
I'm just saying, there's a two-way street there. But yeah,
But I'm just
William
saying,
Regal, he's
Tony
back.
Khan doesn't seem to be. He wants William Regal to be an on-screen character, and instead of using him to where he would be most useful, because he needs fucking help backstage. You think Nick and Matt Jackson are gonna help you sustain any sort of success?
No, and he definitely does need help backstage. He needs he needs people writing shows for him. He needs people. The initial thought was that Regal was going to take basically be what he was in NXT, but in ROH. But in that fantasy, ROH had its own TV deal, which never came to fruition, and now they're just like bleeding into Rampage and Dynamite, which is why I don't watch Rampage.
Right.
So that was the initial thought was, oh, he's gonna be the on-screen GM for Rampage. I'm sorry, ROH. Um, but yeah, they never got their deal. So now he's going back to WWE. If he's on screen, I don't see what value he adds there. If he's behind the scenes, that is a big thing for them. Only time will tell though. But I will say it again. If he is on screen, it is a failure. If he goes back, if he goes back to, if he walks out and he's the general manager of NXT, failure.
Yeah, I just don't see that with Shawn Michaels being around. I think Shawn Michaels being so close to Triple H, I think Shawn Michaels has his own tendrils and that, which is why it still sucks.
Which is yeah. Now if he, so yeah, it almost has to be that he's an off-screen personality. And that's what he's going back to WWE to do. Um,
I guess we'll
Ultimately, whatever is best for him should be all his concern.
right.
Like if he just wants to be a backstage um, thing, be around his son. He doesn't want to do anything else but that. Then, you know, that's best for him.
That and help Madcap still in mom.
teach her, teach him some new techniques.
Humble her.
As he's standing there with his regal smirk, watching them.
Yes. Walk the dog.
You know how he used to have that little pocket watch
Uh
hanging out of his, and he's like spinning his pocket watch as they're
huh.
pounding, as he's pounding her
uh,
with his leaning back with his spinning his pocket watch with his double-breasted jacket.
I'll have to try to look for some Emma photos when I'm done here.
But I think on that note, that is going to do it for us.
I think so.
That was a good show.
Good show. Good show.
Had a little technical difficulty, but
A little
I
bit.
think aside from that, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments.
If you disagree, go
Um,
ahead and tell us how big of losers we are, and then
you won't be the first.
won't be the last.
And leave a like on your way out, and uh, that's it.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Shut this bastard down.